What's up? What's up?
All right. Can
Hey,
everybody
what's
hear me?
yes, sir. What's good, my guy?
How's it going, man?
Oh, it's going, man. I'm
It's good
happy.
to finally actually it's good to actually I'm really happy to join and get to chat with you.
Fuck
I'm
yeah.
really excited.
Yeah, I'm happy that my internet is holding out for now.
Right, no kidding. I understand the whole internet issues. I live in the woods, so
Yeah, I appreciate you that like agreeing to not only push back the time completely, but then to push back the time from the time.
hey man. However, I get it, you know. So I'm just excited to finally get this rolling, you know.
Yeah, I'm excited to sit down and get to know you because well I won't
Likewise.
I won't get into all that because I'm gonna do the whole fucking uh, intro and tell everybody what the fuck we're doing here type thing, and then we'll get into all that.
Right, perfect. And I'll let you do your whole intro and everything. And like when you introduce me, I'll say what's good and whatnot. I'll let you get the intro going and whatnot.
Sounds good. We'll get this rolling in a couple seconds here. Give people time to file in and whatnot. And
Perfect. Yeah,
both you and I
I
say
posted the
whatnot a
link
lot. I don't know.
on my Facebook, and Blaze is going nuts and Dice is going nuts because I was telling Blaze a few weeks ago, possibly even a month ago, that I was like, after you did a interview with him, and because I watched that and or I listened, and I was like, I would love to get Jekyl to interview me, So when I came in on the live chat, it was I just kind of like slid in real quick. It was like, oh, you don't know me, but maybe you can possibly know me. And it just kind of, I was kind of shocked. So I was like, cool.
I'm
Helps
go-
get my name out there, helps promote me, and I can promote you guys as well because I watch all your videos. I'm subscribed, so
that's awesome, buddy. Like I'll be honest. Like you're a new. I'll get into all that. I'm getting ahead of myself. All right.
yeah.
Um, all right, let's go ahead and kick this thing off so I can stop trying to stop myself from interviewing you.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I'll be honest. I talk a lot. I got ADHD, so I got a lot to say, and
That's good.
hopefully everybody's ready.
Yeah, that's good. You got a lot to say, and that you don't mind saying it because that's what this is for. This is for you to tell your story, tell people who the fuck you are, stuff like that. This isn't about me.
Right,
Most people know all about me by now.
right.
Oh, let's see. Kick this down. And here
Actually gonna
we
look and
go. Jess, you here so you can be my moderator?
Huh?
Huh? Never mind, you're good.
Huh?
Huh? All right, here we go. Fucking shit. But whatever.
Oh no.
No, there's volume for that. There's just no volume for the intro, so that's awesome. But anyway, how's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to Jekyl Reacts presents a sit down red carpet interview with OpWaNkAnOP, and I appreciate you being able to find it in your schedule to sit down and talk with us and let us know a little bit about you. So
Hey
welcome to the
man,
show, man.
appreciate it, man. I'm glad to be here. I'm looking forward to sharing a little bit of my story and spreading some positive vibes to the chat and to you guys as well.
And as everyone knows or that has seen the red carpet interviews done before in the past with other artists, um, if you got any questions you want me to ask the artist and you're not in the chat currently as right now, so if you're on Instagram, Twitter, whatever, send them to me, send them to my moderator who is in the chat with us today, Jess, and she will read them and then he will answer them. The only thing is, I can't say what they're going to ask. That especially with
Oh,
people who fuck with me, they're going to be very open with their questions. It's just up to you if you want to
and that's
answer
okay.
these.
Hey, that's all right. You know, my way of it is, you know, if they've got a question and they ask it, I'll answer it as honest and straightforward as I can.
Sounds good, man. So first and foremost, I know that Mackie put something out. No, I have not heard it yet. I'm gonna check it out as soon as we're done with this interview. But getting this interview up and rolling was
Perfect.
more important to me for the time being because at the end of the day, me and Mackie beef, man, it's all fun and games. But J&P is my profession, so you know,
Okay.
got to do what I got to do first, right? And
Right.
then
Understandable.
and then I'll play with my toys afterwards. How's that?
Yeah, sounds like a plan, man. I hope you dig it. I think you'll dig it, especially with my man Blaze on there, man. Yeah, he's my boy.
Wait, Blaze was on the disc?
Oh no, not on the disc. No, so
Oh.
I had no. That disc I swapped the track because there was two tracks that Jess had me choose, and at first it was Bunk Bud, which was a diss track that was towards somebody. There's a little story on that, but I'll share that with y'all later. And then there was, of course, Elevate. Well, I thought Fatal Attraction would be a better one for you to check out because Blaze told me that it is personally one of my best, and I agree. So that's kind of why I kind of did the little switch. I mean, if you want to check out the Bunk Bud, that's more power to you, my guy.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna check out more of your catalog going forward. But I was referring to whatever Mackie just dropped. If it was a diss response to a thing I haven't done yet, or I don't know.
Oh no.
So I thought you were saying
No.
I thought you were saying Blaze is on that. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to look at this.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh, maybe we were talking about like two completely different things.
Yeah, we were.
That's
so
okay too.
That happens.
Perfect. Yeah.
That happens all the time on this channel, man.
Yeah.
We have Jay has his first question.
Well, I ain't even got to the lead up yet there, Jay.
Jay already coming in with the questions. I like it.
It ain't answer
Taking a
question
sardine.
time. Shit, Jay knows the format here. Question and answers at the end after we get to know the guy.
Yeah.
And Blaze says, "Tell OP I'm gonna call his ass."
Oh, he better not. I told him he better not. Man, he better not. That's all I'm saying. He better not.
All right. So first and foremost, the name. When I first reacted to you, I didn't know how in the fuck to pronounce your name. I was like, what?
Just like everybody else.
Well, yeah. Apparently I'm retarded when it comes to that. I need coloring crayons and shit to people explain things to me.
Yeah. But no, believe it or not, so the name came about. So I loved playing video games when I was a kid, and like I loved using like the overpowered weapons. So I was like, okay. So and when I was playing video games at the time, I was also writing like little raps on the side, you know, and this was like way before I started recording. So I started with the name OP, and that was just kind of the nickname that my friends gave me when we were all hanging out and stuff like that. So everybody would just call me OP. My real name is Joseph, as everybody could tell, with a Z in it. It's kind of the unique way of spelling it, I would say. But then as I started to get into my music, I was like, you know, I don't want to just use the name OP. So I was like, you know, why don't I just confuse the heck out of people? Just say OpWaNkAnOP. Because believe it or not, a lot of people think it's OpWaNkAnOP. Like a lot of like people from Britain, British people, you know. So
Well,
I like the name.
being
So
a
it just kind
veteran,
of stuck.
being a veteran to me, OP is in operation. So when I first looked at yours, I was like, op, wank, and op. What?
Yeah, no kidding.
So,
But I love people trying to butcher the name. It does give me a laugh. So
well, I guess you had two missions: to make people laugh at butchering your name, and two, to confuse the ever-loving fuck out of people. And well done, you job well done. You did both on
Thank
my
you.
house. I was like, what? I didn't even
Thank
know.
you.
I was like, he's gonna fucking hate me for butchering this name, but what?
That's all right.
That's a good way to get your name though. I know a lot of artists struggle with that to get the name that suits them best and go forward, you know, moving parts with that. I know I've switched my names like probably 30 bazillion times before I settled on Jekyl.
Right.
But it like all my army buddies, they'd call me Superman because I survived shit that shouldn't be survived, let alone walked out of it without being seriously injured.
Yeah.
So everyone called me Superman for like half of my career. And
Awesome.
but
Well,
I was gonna go with that, and I was like, that's a stupid ass name for a fucking rapper. So,
well, if
eh,
since you were in the service, man, appreciate the service, by the way.
oh, it's my pleasure, man. I loved my job till they told me I couldn't do it. They said
Hey, man.
get a desk job or get out, and I said bye bye. That's not what I signed up for.
Hey, man. You did your job, and uh, all even for all veterans, that even veterans and people fighting overseas, they're doing a really important and also difficult task at the same time, which is keeping our country safe and fighting for our freedom, and it I just support all the troops. Everybody should.
I'm hitting buttons over here. What am I doing? Me and technology do not agree ever.
The same here because I had a MacBook. This is a funny story. So I had my MacBook, which had all my music, and I had bought this MacBook. Loved the GarageBand, which is what I was using to, record my music and whatnot. I got a simple setup, but I got like a kind of my own little mini studio, which is really nice. Worked hard for the stuff that I got, and my MacBook caught on fire about a couple weeks ago. Like
Damn.
literally just like bursted into flames. And as I was recording a mid song, wasn't plugged in or nothing. And I was just kind of like brain farted as to why would it just like spark up in the flames like that. So I saved the hard drive. The hard drive is still intact. So I'm hoping I can get all my music off of it. But at the moment, not really recording anything at the moment, just kind of taking the time to write new material, really get into the lyricism part of ways. I'm trying to get better at writing because a lot of my raps do tend to repeat like a lot of repetitive certain words, Not saying that that's boring, but like I want to get better at like storytelling. I really want to tell my story like
Thank you.
instead of just like
Thank
rapping the rap. Like there's times to just rap, just to get some tracks, to like get people's attention and the laugh, every once in a while. But then there's the ones where it comes down to business, like the albums and certain EPs that are more important. Like those songs got to be like
Well,
better than anything. Like I always try to consider my new stuff better than the last stuff, and I keep that mentality to get better and better and
well,
better.
that's the way it should be in a couple of different aspects of what you just said in that little spiel you just did. Because one, if you are not improving every single track from your last one, then
Mhm.
what the fuck are you doing?
Exactly. And I've had a lot of people tell me, even people have told me, like a lot of my good friends and family and close relatives, they've listened to some of my older stuff and my new stuff, and they'll say, oh, but some of this old stuff was actually really, really good because it was just when you were starting to get into it, you were just starting to develop your flow. But then they go listen to some of my newer stuff and they're like, it's good, but it's like, where can't you just like go back to doing what you were doing? But it's not necessarily I want to go back to doing what I was doing, but I want to build off from it. Like
Well,
I'm not my flow is not the way it needs to be. I can be honest with that. It's still in like a developmental stage because I stutter a lot when I flow, whether I rap or freestyle, and I tend to mumble sometimes, and I'm trying to grow out of that.
see,
In other words.
that's the weird thing as an artist, and you just attested to the same thing that I'm talking about, and have been talking about for like about a week now with other people, is that my most growth that I've seen as an artist personally has been within the past 2 years when I started this YouTube circuit. Because
Mhm.
before YouTube, I would always have yes men around me, which I fucking can't stand a yes man because there's no growth. They'll just hype up your shit, whether it's
Mhm.
trash or not. They will not tell
Exactly.
you where you need to fix stuff. If something's trash, they'll say everything is excellent, and you think you're like the best thing ever. And then
Exactly.
you get to real people who will give you real reactions, and they'll call you dog shit, like Sleepy. I don't know if you've heard of Sleepy
Mhm.
reactions, but dude shit all over me when I first came
Oh
out,
yeah.
like bad. But he also gave me critiques on how to fix it. And
Mhm.
there's a difference between being an asshole just to be an asshole and be an asshole with a way to fix it.
I
And
agree.
I love that thing. Do you enjoy critiques, or are you one of them types that gets really emotional over being critiqued?
Oh no, I love the constructive criticism. Like my thing is, um, when I like most of the time when I do a track, I'll run it by Dice or Blaze, most likely both of them, and I'll ask them, hey, let me know what you think. Tell me if there's something I need to work on. And they'll tell me straight up if it's trash or if it slaps, you know. And if it's trash, they'll tell me, hey, this is what you need to do. Like maybe try switching, like slowing it down a bit, or maybe, hey, like maybe switch some of these bars around to where they kind of line up together. Cause sometimes I'll rap and some of my bars won't go to like they won't really pertain to what I'm trying to get at, So
Yeah.
like so there's some bars that will go together with certain ones to make it flow better, and they'll give me that constructive criticism, and then I'll work from that. I love it. I never get defensive over if people tell me my stuff is trash or not. And like especially like with haters, because like everybody gets haters. So like your music is not going to appeal to every single person out there.
Exactly.
But and like so like if people tell me, hey, your stuff's trash, I'm just like, that's okay, that's your opinion. And I just kind of go from there. But like sometimes I'll take that from what those other people say, like, oh, it's trash, and I'll be like, maybe I'll go back and listen and see maybe if there is something that I might have like mixed wrong or done wrong in the track, and maybe like try to change other people's opinion of the track, because sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I kind of just go with what I got.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, though, like I get a lot of shit from a lot of people because I do reactions, and first of all, above everything else, I'm 100% honest. Even if it's a good friend of
Mhm.
mine, if something's off, I'm gonna tell him it's off. And
Exactly.
just because it's off to me doesn't mean it's off to everybody. I just didn't like something you did. So that mean you have to use every tool in the tool bag, so to speak. You know,
Hmm.
just whenever you see it needs to fit. But I get so much shit because I am brutally honest, and sometimes that's not appreciated by everybody.
Right. And like I like the brutally honest people, because that's the kind of criticism that gets me that little edge, and like because like sometimes I'll use that to my advantage. Like say, for example, say you were to listen to one of my older songs or one of my newer songs at that and just say, yo, this is just complete garbage. You're right. I'll take that, and then the next time I go in the booth, I'll manipulate what you said and turn it into a little bit of anger and just make something else that just sounds so much better.
Exactly. That's the way that you should do too. And
Hmm.
what's crazy is when you do start progressing and you do pick up on everything everyone's been telling you and critiquing you and shit, is you'll catch like you go back and you listen to your old shit. Like I'll listen to my shit from pre YouTube, and 90% of it is trash. It's fucked up. But then you find those jewels you had in there, and you're like, oh, well, that actually wasn't that bad. So I must have, accidentally did good back then.
Exactly. Like I'll be honest, like there's some stuff that I rapped in some of my older tracks, and I'm just like, man, why couldn't I just save that for some of my newer stuff? Like I wish I could have took all my older music, and like this is what I wanted to do. Like all my stuff that I've released, I wanted to take it all down, only my older stuff, right? I wanted it because since I have all the rights to all the music, I wanted to put them onto a MacBook or like a GarageBand and redo all those tracks and redo the flow, redo the delivery, and like redo those songs and like release them all together as like a mixtape or something.
Yeah.
Just so I can but a lot of people have told me, keep that older stuff up because that shows your improvement over the years of the times that you've spent recording. So I'm just kind of at like that right in mid between about my old stuff and my newer stuff.
Well, I mean, that's kind of give neither here nor there. It depends on the track. I would give you this advice because one of the best
Hmm.
tracks I think I've ever done in my life, I wrote clear back in 2007.
Okay.
And it still is. I listen to it with my new standard of myself today, and it still rivals what I'm doing now.
Okay.
And so,
Yeah.
what I'm going to do is, I'm not necessarily going to just rework that same flow, the same lyrics, everything. I'm going to completely redo the song with the same flow that I had on that, but make it better to my newer standard.
Hmm.
So, I think you
Right.
could do something like that.
That's actually see, and that's some good criticism, like right there already. See, even during an interview, I get criticism, and I love it.
Yeah. Well, there's too
So,
many people out there nowadays that surround themselves with yes men. They go on reactions and they give the reactor the link, and then the reactor don't fuck with it, or there's something wrong with it, and they call them out, and all of a sudden They
Hmm.
unsubscribe to that reactor and they start trashing him, all this shit. Like, I don't know, like, how long have you been in the YouTube scene or music in general?
So I started recording probably I've been in YouTube probably since I was a kid. I've had a channel for about I want to say like maybe 5 years now. Um and so as far as music goes, I started recording probably I want to say 2 years ago, and I didn't even meet Dice probably till I believe it was in 2020, or no, it was like 2019. It was like the end of 2019. And that's when I think I started releasing music like right before I met Dice. And so yeah, about a year and a half ago, going on 2 years is when I've been releasing stuff.
Okay.
Um
So, relatively new to the game, if so to
yeah,
speak. So,
yeah.
I mean, I guess as advice I would give to a newer person in music, because me and you have been releasing on YouTube for about the same period of time, almost coming up on 2 years will be my 2 year anniversary. I put something out on YouTube, but I've been in this game for 20 years.
Oh, that's a long time.
Yeah, I'm old.
You're considered you're yeah. And hey man, still young at heart is what I like to say. I'm 24. I'm never getting any younger. But I always respect the people who have been in the game longer, because I always like to consider them the wise men of the game that help teach the younger people who are just getting into it. Like, they help show them the way and the right way instead of showing them the fake way. You know what I mean?
I agree with most of that to a point because, like, I've been in this for a long ass time, and I still catch new ways of doing things from young artists such as yourself and even younger artists that I'm
Yeah.
like, I never even thought to try that. So it's kind of a little bit of give and take. I think, especially with YouTube and independent artists, that's why I fuck with independent artists so much. And I generally only listen to underground unless I'm in my car, and then I'll put on Pandora. But
Hmm.
there's there's this feeling that if everybody could just stop being dickheads on like Twitter and shit and realize it's the community, the underground community, we help build each other with everything. Even if it's a diss track,
Yeah.
you either light a flame, light a fire up under somebody's ass, or you can get an idea from somebody.
Hmm.
So, as my advice to you would be, don't close that door. As far as when you do get a higher number of subs and everything, don't base shit off of sub counts. Look at the person behind the fucking music.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I do agree with that 100% as well. I mean, because oh man, I just lost my thought for a second there. Crap. Um, I have learned some stuff from other artists, because like I the way I've tried to create, I guess, my style of music, like I've all when I was younger, I always listened to, like, West Coast, East Coast, um, and I never really picked a favorite style of hip hop or rap, just because like I listen, we've all grown up listening to, like Eminem and the old school albums from the 90s and stuff like that. But like I just kind of wanted to like try to put both styles together, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And see, a lot of people your age don't do that. Like,
No, they just stick to one thing.
well, they stick to either one thing, or they stick to one genre of music, or they stick to, you know, they don't, their whole spectrum is not utilized because, like, if you didn't tell me who was on what side in the whole Biggie Tupac controversy,
Right.
I couldn't have told you a difference between the West Coast, East Coast. Like, I don't know. I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck.
No.
I didn't like I fuck with Tupac's music more than them because
Same.
I loved Tupac's music, and I thought I know a lot of people don't like this fact about Jekyl, but I cannot fucking stand, and I don't think he was ever one of the greatest artists. I didn't like Biggie.
and
I
and
didn't.
see and see, like, and that's crazy, because like I grew up listening to, Tupac, as more Tupac than Biggie as well. But like, don't get me wrong, there are those songs that Biggie released that were honestly probably Biggie's best tracks, but a lot of people don't realize. I personally believe, because I've done a lot of research on, like Tupac and Biggie and everything that they did during their lives with their music, and I think that if it wasn't for Tupac, Biggie wouldn't have really made it as big as he would have been.
I
Tupac,
fully agree.
like Biggie kind of went under Tupac's wing because they used to be friends, and then when Tupac got shot at that studio, he just thought that Biggie was behind it, and so that's kind of when the hate started, when the whole rivalry kind of between the East and the West Coast started happening.
Yeah, and I think Puffy should have stayed the fuck out of everything because all he did was ride Biggie's death, and then he rode
Yeah,
Biggie's
exactly.
coattails before that, and now,
Mhm.
now he's just a mixtape. Like, I'm gonna take your shit and then I'm gonna just remix it. That's all he was. He was a remix master. That's it.
Yeah, and like there's like I bet you there are still, even just like Tupac's music, there's a lot of, there's still, I believe they even said like 2 albums worth of Tupac's unreleased music, that was supposed to be released, that I don't think even has gotten released yet. And then you got
I
Biggie,
guarantee it.
who I believe Tupac released more than Biggie. Biggie only released, I believe, Life After Death, and then what was the first one with the baby on the cover, that album, I don't know the name of it.
Born to Die or Ready to Die, something like that.
Yeah, and then you got Life After Death, and I don't really think Biggie really released much after that. So no one really knows if there's really more Biggie really unreleased stuff, because a lot of the times, like you said, with all the remixing of all of his other stuff, they'll just take lyrics from his older tracks and just put them on a new beat.
I would wager anything except my own children that Tupac has way more than 2 albums worth of shit. Because like, I'm not even on the fucking radar or same conversation as half of the people, let alone Tupac. And I've got
Yeah,
like literally hundreds and hundreds of songs that are actually recorded that have never seen the light of day, and I've got hundreds and thousands more ones that I haven't never recorded. I just wrote them. So
same.
I
Yeah.
guarantee he does at the level of game he was at. Oh yeah,
Oh
guarantee
yeah.
it.
I mean, I just wish they'd release that stuff by now, man. Like,
Yeah,
and I'll
it's
tell
all
you
red
one
tape,
thing.
man.
Yeah, I agree, and it's crazy because like there's this other artist that I've taken a liking to. His name is Casanova the Dawn, if you've ever heard of him.
Yep,
Doesn't he sound a lot like Tupac?
he does. It's kind of creepy. Like him and
Makes me
that rapper. What the fuck did he call himself? The realist.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
they
I
just
literally thought that was Pac.
makes you wonder, right?
Well, the realist came out with that song like not too long after Tupac had died, and
Mm-hmm.
he was saying, or no, I'm sorry, it came out before Pac died, and
Yeah, I was
it
gonna say
was
I think it
saying that
came
it
out.
was talking about like, we'll talk about what happened at the Tyson night, or no, it was directly after he died. I'm sorry, it was Tyson. We're talking about the Mike Tyson fight. He's like, the Tyson fight, same night, same fight, but someone of us ain't acting right. I'll let you tell it. It's like, whoa.
Yeah,
This was like
and
not
then
even a couple days after that happened.
and then you had the Casanova track where he was rapping like uh, but I couldn't believe what I happened to see a guy who dressed like me, just like me, right in the passenger seat, but it couldn't be me, and it couldn't be me. It was crazy. It made you think.
Yeah, it's like a lot of people, like they're saying in the chat room, they think Pac might still be alive, but like I don't believe that far. The contra or the whole thing, it's like Elvis ain't dead type thing. But
Yeah, he's alive in spirit, man. Like us listening to his music and supporting him keeps him alive. His legacy, because he inspired a lot of artists. Like personally, like I, my icons for creating music, were Bone Thugs, because I grew up from Ohio, and Bone Thugs were the only rap group in history to ever do a track with Eazy-E, Big Pun, Biggie, and Tupac before they all died. So like they were I believe Bone Thugs was one of the greatest rap groups of all time,
oh, I fully
and
agree.
and they inspired me to create, to just you know because like I may not have gone through everything that they went through, but there's some of their music that I can easily relate to, and even a lot of their current day music, a lot of the art, like Lazy singles, and everybody else is doing their singles. They haven't really done like a full 5-member album since I believe it was Uni 5, and I it's a lot of their music is still relatable to this day.
All right. Well, we're coming. Like, I don't use Zoom much, just so everyone's aware. But I guess there's a time limit on how long we can Zoom for in one meeting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and play your first track, and then I'm going to have Jess get you the link so you can come back. we'll pick up where we left off.
Yeah. Okay. Word. Yeah. That sounds like a plan. Yeah. I didn't even know that either, to be honest with you.
It's well, I didn't pay for Zoom Professional or whatever the fuck it's called
neither.
or whatever, but
Me
I don't
neither.
use it enough. I use Discord for everything.
Yeah, I feel like I was talking a lot, and I apologize.
Oh no, that's what this is for. This is your interview, man. Talk all you want, man.
Touche.
All right, so I'm gonna start this up for everyone in the in the Zoom call. It's let's see, which one do you want first? Elevate or Fatal Attraction?
Let's play Elevate.
All right, we'll do Elevate, and then we'll pick back up on the Zoom call on the other side.
And then we can I'll answer some questions for anybody that's got any questions as well, and any of yours if you got any more.
Oh, I got a ton more.
heard that.
Right,
I'm excited.
Here we go.
Sometimes you just gotta elevate. Keep your head up. Go for what you believe in. Never quit. I will always elevate. People love the talk, they love the hate and bring you down. Waiting for that day you give up and throw in the towel. Some people really act like happiness is not allowed, but writing songs and making music is what I'm about. Can't stop but I won't rest. Put in work, I see progress. My time is really gonna come. Never mind if they upset. They lashing out and they having doubts. Couldn't care less what they mad about. It's my life and I'ma speak the truth. It's about time that I air it out. Put my all in the music, never hold back. People try to bring me down, yeah, I know that. Yeah, never mind if they hatin'. Yeah, I'ma keep on elevating. See, I'm just doing what I love and what I like. In the studio recording every day and night. Yeah, never mind if they hatin'. Yeah, I'ma keep on elevating. Hey. Started with a vision, I'm on a mission. I'm so focused, I'm never breaking and I'm never quitting. All that negative energy only fueling the fire. Pushing me harder cause hard times only inspire. Taking me higher, pushing me to what I desire. Knew from the start, inside of my heart I'm a fighter. Spitting these bars, only aim to be number one. Give it some time, they'll look back and see what I've become. Yeah, I'll give anything it takes, nothing's getting in my way. I'm ignoring what they say, got so many moves to make. You can either ride with me or continue to hate. Either way, my only goal is to steady elevate. Put my all in the music, never hold back. People try to bring me down, yeah, I know that. Yeah, never mind if they hatin'. Yeah, I'ma keep on elevating. See, I'm just doing what I love and what I like. In the studio recording every day and night. Yeah, never mind if they hatin'. Yeah, I'ma keep on elevating. Hey, taking no days off, a legend I wanna be one. Do it for the love, not just to make the income. They second guess me with plenty opinions. Worried about my dreams, well I think you should get one. In the studio making magic to music, yes I'm an addict. I hear the beat, I attack it, I'm ready for any challenge. People I call friends, behind my back chit-chatting, saying it won't work, but I just forget about it. No matter what they think of me, feel like I'm making history. Poured my heart out lyrically, what they say won't get to me. Telling me I can't win, but I'm just creating. What you're seeing is my rise, it's my elevation. Put my all in the music, never hold back. People try to bring me down, yeah, I know that. Yeah, never mind if they hatin'. Yeah, I'ma keep on elevating. See, I'm just doing what I love and what I like. In the studio recording every day and night.
Welcome back, my friend.
Yeah, never mind if they hatin'. Yeah, I'ma keep on elevating. Yeah. Yeah. Never let anybody tell you that you cannot succeed. Like me, you just gotta elevate. You'll always be successful.
Fucking love the message of the fucking song.
Thank you very, very, very much. I honestly forgot that it was still playing because I'm playing the stream off my phone because I was seeing the comment or questions in the chat as well. And yeah, I appreciate that, man. That I was basically, growing up as a kid, I was bullied a lot, and not, and a lot of people would say, I guess the reason why I was bullied was because I would act and do what I would do to get bullied, which is kind of makes you seem selfish for saying something, for people saying something like that. But like when I said, people love to talk, they love to hate and bring you down, like everybody has that. Everybody has everyday bullies, and even like your inner demons are kind of like a everyday bully, and you just kind of gotta just show them that you don't take nothing from them.
Yeah, I fully agree. And if you are ever in a position where you don't even try and elevate yourself, maybe it's because you ain't looking at your fucking life hard enough. Because everybody can do something better to make themselves better, their mentality better, their situation better, their music better, whatever. Something can be added to and elevated every single fucking day.
Exactly. And the crazy thing was like I don't know if anybody could tell with how it sounded, but the hook wasn't really intended to sound so dull. Like I know it's a very good track. I think it's a really good track. I personally just feel that I kind of messed up the hook. It wasn't quite sounding the way it needed to be. So but it still turned out like really, really, really remarkably well.
Well, see,
I think.
I don't know. Like, I think that's what actually helped give this thing a little bit of breath of realization in life is because you didn't go completely hard or crazy. You didn't snap on the hook. You let that really resonate and sink into what you were listening, and then the verses took care of themselves. They painted the picture, so to speak, but that hook solidified it that everybody can relate to this. This is not just about you; it's about everybody.
Yeah.
So,
well, I do appreciate that, my friend. I do. I really appreciate it. I just, like Blaze said in the comments, wait till you hear what's in the vault, though. Fire.
I can't wait to hear what's in the vault. And right before we get into the Q&A, we'll pick right back up before Zoom decided to time us out of our own fucking meeting.
Yeah, no kidding. I don't even know how long the meetings we can do for. I think that was what?
I don't know, about half hour.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing it's half hour.
Shoot. Can't believe a half hour has already been by, man.
Yeah, the time's definitely flying by, but that's all right. We were talking about how I did. I should be a rapper.
Well, are you?
I'm pretty sure I am.
There you go.
You're talking about how Bone Thugs was, arguably one of the best, if not, well, I can't say the best because NWA is pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Best rap groups out there is the Bone Thugs, and I didn't know it until that movie Straight Outta Compton came out when they were showing how Eazy-E was on his deathbed, and then they came in and told him check out Bone Thugs.
Yeah, because
I thought they were already a thing.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, because like at that scene where they were at that tunnel saying like I got this group Bone with me, like that's what E was saying, so like because I think that was like the night of the club, like when they went into the club to, I guess, for E and Cube to, I guess, make amends.
Yeah, where
that's
when he was talking.
Yeah, and I think that's when he was saying that he had Bone with them, like this group called Bone, because originally Bone Thugs, I think they were called Bone. Believe it or not, they used to be called the Band-Aid Boys back in, I guess, high school or school. Yeah.
I'm so glad they changed that shit.
Yeah. So then when they got older, I guess they changed their name to Bone Enterprise, which they released the Faces of Death, like their very first album. And I'll tell you what, when you hear the first song, Flow Motion, how their flow is just kind of like, you don't expect it to be like that fast, but they're like in their teens rapping this stuff, right? And then they changed then when they got with EE, said, you guys harmonize, so you guys should be Bone Thugs in Harmony.
I didn't even know all that whole backstory. I didn't know nothing about no Band-Aid Boys, but
I've done a lot of research. I like watching a lot of documentaries about artists, and even like older artists, and then even upcoming artists and such.
Well, I've always loved...
I try to get...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, no, go ahead. I was interrupting you.
Well, I've always loved Bone Thugs, and then when Blaze told me about Busy or Lazy, I'm sorry, being on that track with him, I was like, what?
Mhm. Yeah, so it was kind of crazy. So I would believe it or not, how that went down was I was at work at the time, and I got a hold of Dice, and I said, hey, you know, what do I gotta do? I feel like my flow and delivery are at that point where I feel like I should like get my music really out there. So maybe I should pay for a feature for an artist. So like right in my head, I thought someone from Bone. I was like, oh, Bone. I would that would really help with getting my music out there. So I asked him what it would take for me to get a feature with one of the members of Bone, and he asked me which one. He said Crazy. I was like, no, I want to do with Lazy first, just because um I like Lazy's like own little style he brings to the group. You know what I mean? Like he has that higher pitch sometimes at those points, and so he was able to get a hold of his manager Rob and get me a price, and I paid for the verse, and it just turned out good. There's actually an original that was I released with just me and Lazy before the remix, and so the remix is of course the same verse by Lazy, but it's just a different verse that I spit at the first verse, and then Blaze is also in it, and then there's just a couple extra additives that I added into the track to keep it kind of flowing in the motion, you know.
See, like I don't know. That'd be a hard one for me. If it other than Crazy Bone, I don't know which other Bone Thug I would actually want more.
Oh man, I really want all five of them. That's my lifelong goal is to I would really I've had this song written for quite a while actually, and it's like a song that I will not record unless I can get the opportunity to record with all five Bone members. Like I have this beat, no one's ever heard the beat but me. I've had I just this song, the verses that I've wrote in this track are just put away to till that day comes, and that's just I would do it with all five. My other one I would want to do is Busy, because I like Busy's flow. Even
Yeah.
Flesh and Bone and Wishbone, because you don't hear a lot from Wishbone. He doesn't release any really singles. He usually just tours with the group and does features with all the other members.
Well, the reason I would hands down pick Crazy over any of them is what got me into liking faster rap. Like I've always loved rap, but fast rap for me when Bone Thugs came out was just something like a whole new eye opening to what rap could be. And he came out without Crazy Bone. What the hell is it? Thug Mentality. And
I really love that album.
Heated Heavy. Holy shit!
Mm.
He
Oh,
snapped on that fucking song. I was like, damn, that's.
running it,
Ooh.
running with the AK-47 fucking heated heavy, running with the AK-47 fucking heated heavy. Oh man, that song I like that song. That song bumps.
I
Honestly.
always push myself all the time to be able to keep up with that fucking song, and all through high
Hmm.
school or after it came out, like I'd say probably for a couple years even after high school, I couldn't get past anything but the fucking hook. Like I couldn't even keep up with anything.
Right?
I was like,
No,
this
like
is insane.
I feel like as their flows developed after they they started separating and like doing a lot of them doing their own thing and not really being a full group. I feel like each of them have like their music has changed with them in a way that is it definitely still sounds like they're still bringing that 90s Cleveland vibe, but it's just like modern day, you know?
Yeah, I'd have to
And
agree. I think they're overall it's all kind of gone downhill though, because like even the song I did with Blaze, he can attest to this because him and I have obviously talked back and forth billions of times about the damn topic.
mhm.
But Monster was gonna be with Blaze on it, and as soon as I locked him in for that fucking feature, I knew that I had to bring my A game, and then I send him what I got, and then like it, we were pushing each other to outdo each other, and I think that's how it should be. And
Mhm.
on either a cipher, a feature, anything, is you're trying to be the best on that track, and then at the end of the day, that's what it should be about, anyways. Bring your best that you can possibly do. But
I
like,
agree 100% with that.
like after I released Criminal, Blaze was like, okay, well, I got to go back to the drawing board and scrap what I was going to do because I just heard the aggression you came with on this. And I was like, all right, man, go for it.
I did listen to Criminal. By the way, that was I liked the song. I did like it a lot.
I appreciate that. I didn't like how the mixing came out on it because Battle Beats did the production on it, but there's only so much he could do. I was so pissed about the actual like it was an actual thing I was going through with my ex-wife. Is this heated fucking battle in court, and she used my lyrics against me in court, and the judge allowed it. He fucking let it happen. So I was so pissed. But I just lost my kids because of lies she was telling about me being this fucking abusive dad and shit. And I'm like, wow. So I wrote that song, and I had to literally have the microphone across the room from me because I was screaming that hard. Lost my voice twice. Just recording it. So
wow.
So not much he could be done with the production on that. He did what he could.
Yeah.
But that's why I sound like I'm across the room, because I was.
Gotcha.
But I do appreciate you checking it out and let me know you liked it. That's at
yeah,
the end of
man.
the day, I'm here for, which is kind of leads into my next question. Perfect segue. Is I write songs as my therapy. It's my therapy to clear my head on paper and get it done, close the book. And I'm happy when people like it and fuck with it. And that's kind of the secondary reason I do hip hop is because I'm trying to tell my story. And you alluded to it earlier that you're a storytelling rapper. You like storytelling. And to me, that's like one of the top 3 things I look for. I look for lyricism. Can't be saying the same bullshit over and over. Got to have substance, and it's got to tell me a story. And
exactly
what you just wrote on Elevate hit all 3 of those fucking benchmarks, in my opinion.
Thank you.
So good job
Thank
on
you very
that.
much.
But my question to you is, what do you go for when you're sitting down to write a song? Is it the therapy? Is it what is it?
You know, it's a little bit of, I would say a little bit of therapy, but also kind of gives me like something to take my mind off of like a lot of the negatives that I have gone through personally in my life. Like I was a really hard drug user. I did a lot of meth, did a lot of cocaine. I'm 3 years currently clean off of all those hard drugs. So like to help me, because being one of those users that, you know, whenever you always have that urge to want to do that substance again, but to help keep me away from it, I write like writing music helps, listening to music, even in my spare time to help me practice, like getting my flow down. I'll just play a bunch of beats and I'll just freestyle, and it'll keep my mind away from doing all the hard stuff that put me in a hole. And it does help. So it is a little bit of therapy.
That's good though. Keeping like I don't do drugs. I don't support any type of drug out there. Like weed to me is not a drug.
No, not at all. I'll be honest. I smoke weed. Like it really, honestly, it helps me rap. Honestly, it really helps me flow better. To be honest, it helps me be more creative.
Well, see, I don't even smoke weed, but I don't knock people who do. But I don't see that as a drug. Drugs are something that, to me personally, that ruins lives, and there's no fucking point.
Yep.
But to each their own. But I don't consider weed a drug. So when I say I don't do or agree with drugs, I'm not. That weed ain't in that category.
Oh no, it wouldn't be in a category for me either. I consider it just a plant because God grew it for a reason.
Exactly, like the great fucking. I just had his name, but now I fucking spaced it. Fucking little sawed off little sumbitch. What's his name? Cat Williams. Weed is not a drug. It's just a plant. It grows like that. Weed, you gotta do shit to it chemically. Mix it up, put baking soda, stir it around. I don't know. That whole thing. So,
that's an interesting way of looking at it.
If you ain't seen that fucking Cat Williams stand up, Pimp Chronicles, it's fucking hilarious.
I'm gonna have to check it out. I've been watching a lot of I can't remember his name. He's this guy. He doesn't wear a shirt. He's like this chubby guy.
Oh, fucking Bruce the Machine.
Yeah, man. I was watching I was watching his one skit about his trip to like Russia or Germany or whatever.
Yeah, why they call him the machine?
Yeah, that one was funnier than hell.
Yeah,
Oh, my
I
lord.
forget his last name, but it's Bert something. But
Yeah.
he's actually a hosting, which I never saw this coming as a collab or whatever you want to call it, a co-hosting job with him and Snoop Dogg. I never saw that one coming.
No, not at all. So you just everyone was just kind of like, holy fuck, like wow.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like, I don't know what people were thinking, but it's got that dude from. It's called the Big Show or Go Big Show, and
uh
it's got the judges are yeah, Bert Kreisner. That's his name. He's the basically the Nick Cannon of shit. He's up there on the stage and introducing and interviewing everybody. And then,
mhm.
but Snoop Dogg is on the fucking judging panel along with that dude from wrestling who looks really gay. The guy's got, well, I mean, that's not saying much with wrestling, but most of them look homo as fuck. But
Yeah.
it's the dude, the bleach blonde hair.
God, I can't think of his name.
I don't remember it either, but
Yeah, that's not narrowing it down.
okay.
Jess, yeah, you're right, Jess.
That is
You're very
true.
right.
The Miz, is that his name? The
Oh.
Miz? I,
Maybe.
I guess Jay from the Rednecks says it's the Miz, but
Yeah, that's what
it's
he was
got the
saying. You might be
weirdest
right,
fucking
Jay.
panel I've ever seen for a show.
Mhm.
Him and Snoop Dogg, never saw that coming.
Hey, man.
All right,
Sneak.
Blaze, appreciate you rolling through, buddy, for this interview. Thank you very, very much for introducing me to OpWaN, because without that,
Yeah,
I don't
Blaze.
think I'd have know who he was, at least not
If
for a
if
while.
if it wasn't for Blaze, man, like I got much love for Blaze. Good night, Blaze. I hope you have a good night. Just you go pee, go bed.
Blaze is definitely a real one, and like, as a younger person yourself, one of the biggest things I would recommend is like stay with people like Blaze because they'll keep you grounded. Dude is one of the most, in my opinion, on all of YouTube right now. He's easily in the top five, like
Oh
of
yeah.
all of them. That's to include people like Crypt and people who is in a lot of people's top fives.
Yeah,
But this
and you
dude is
know,
more humble than any fucking guy I've met in the scene so far. I love it.
oh, I agree. And you know, he I consider myself like one of his proteges, like he's taken me under his wing, and we whenever we can we talk, we'll Facebook each other, we'll message each other, we'll chat. He's actually on another track of mine that is going to be released on this EP coming out on the February 12th. He's on another track on that EP, and he really helps me like like get that lyricism right. Like he'll help me write. Like I'll send him some of my lyrics and he'll go over them, and if there's something that should be changed, he'll recommend writing something else, and then I'll write it down. And he's really helped me out through a lot of especially harder times as well.
That's good.
So
That's good to have somebody like that in your corner.
especially Dice too, because honestly, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be signed to Deeper Entertainment as well. So I've only been my year is it's almost been a year since I've been signed with them, and it's been a great adventure, and I can't wait to keep keep on hanging with the Deeper fam.
That is awesome. And if you can, after this interview is over, if you can shoot either Jess or me a link for Deeper, so I can put their link in the description too.
Yeah, absolutely, I could do that. Do you prefer like Facebook page?
Either way, just so now people know who we're talking about.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But no, definitely surround yourself with people like Blaze, because it's so hard to find somebody who is not gonna not only use you as a stepping stone at some point, but going to turn around and stab you in the back in this industry. It's hard to associate with people like that. So him to you is like Blindsight is to me, because he's the one who gave me my shot on YouTube. He's never heard a single song from me. He had never heard shit from me. He didn't even know who the fuck I was. I was like, dude, it would mean a lot if I could get on a song with you. Would you be down to do that? He's like, fuck yeah, dude. Send me the beat. No questions asked. Him and 10K.
Yep. Yeah, and that's pretty much for what Blaze did. Like Dice told me because I told him I was like, I really want to get on. I really want to like get to know Blaze and like get to know him as a person, not only as an artist but as a person. And when I hit him up on Facebook, like we just immediately just it's like it's like already we had that brotherhood, just because like we're fam, like we help each other succeed. And when I first got him on the track, believe it or not, it wasn't the remix verse that he spit on the remix track on the Rise wasn't the first thing that he recorded with me. It was actually it's on the EP that's being released, was the very first verse he recorded with me. And it's a song called Do or Die. And it was just kind of like I freestyled my whole verse and the hook, and he just kind of went along with it, because it sounded really good, and he just kind of wrote his verse for it and just killed it. You'll have to listen to it when it comes out. It's gonna be a really good song.
Okay, oh, I'm definitely gonna listen to it. I mean, first of all, it was Blaze, and then now that I've gotten to know you a little bit, I'm definitely checking out the shit you put out from here going forward. And I know
Much
you're
appreciated
gonna
too.
be probably in the same boat as Blaze when it comes to this, but I try and react to Blaze either lives or just one-on-one reactions. But the label always hits me every time they
Hey
slap me
man,
down. They're like, "Fuck, no, you ain't get that out of here." So,
hey man, always. I will always be releasing stuff once I get a new PC or a laptop and I'm recording stuff. Oh man, it's on. Like I always tell people, it's just the beginning. Like nobody's heard what I've got coming, and I'm really looking forward to doing it.
that's good, man. Because I definitely no not hyping you up like I said at the beginning of this thing. If anyone knows anything about me, it's I'm not a yes man. I'm not a hype man. I tell it like it is. So, but from what I've heard from you, I've heard this is like my fourth song that I just listened to. Elevate was your fourth song I've ever checked out, and so far I haven't heard anything I haven't liked.
Oh, that's
So
awesome. Honestly, I didn't even know that you've listened to other tracks
yep.
besides Elevate. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know if you checked out the remix yet, because I know you planned on doing a reaction vid to that, so I didn't know what else you've listened to. But that's great. I'm much obliged
Yeah,
to that.
I think I did the reaction to the remix with the Bone Thug on a live, and that's how I
Yeah.
first found out that I get slapped from your fucking label. Jess, do you remember what the name of that one was we checked out on Fire or Flop? You had them all written down, but I don't
Was
remember.
this past week?
Yeah, just on Monday.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, I was thinking Jewel. Never mind. So yeah, this was the third song I've heard from you.
Awesome. That's fantastic.
So for number four will be Fatal Attraction. So
Yeah, that one, and I'll tell you a little bit about that song. So that track, that basically tells my story of like my attraction to when I was when I was doing drugs and everything. And the way you'll hear how it sounds, you'll hear how it sounds. It kind of sounded like as I was recording it, like it almost made it sound
it kind of adds a little bit of a special effects almost to it. Oh, internet, you better not be fucking with me right now. I just disconnected and
yeah.
reconnected. You son of a bitch. You better stay on, internet.
Yeah, so far on see the live, it's still live.
Yeah, it's still live. It just did a quick buffer and it did this little notification to my OBS that my OBS disconnected. So I was like, oh, you son of a bitch.
Hate it when that stuff happens. Like I said, I live in the woods, so the internet here is iffy always.
Yeah, so
Always.
you know what I'm going through over here.
Yeah, well, you must live in like some like forested area as well.
No, I just live in Colorado up in the mountains. So
Yep, that
it's the
explains.
mountain setting.
Yep,
But
I love Colorado though. I just was there like a few weeks ago, actually.
yeah, I heard that you're in the same time zone as me. I was like, shit, that's the first person I've fucked with at all since I've been on YouTube that has even lived close to me.
Yeah. Yeah, Colorado's only like about a 4.5 hour drive, 5.5 hour drive there.
That's not bad. Shit, I drive 4 or
No.
5 hours almost every month just to go pick up my kids. So I'm used to that shit.
Have you ever been to South Dakota before?
Yes, I did when my my ex-wife's parents or grandma had died. and we went up there.
Oh yeah,
I'd never been there before that, and South Dakota pisses me off though, because I found out y'all have legal gambling there.
we do. They just legalized sports betting in Deadwood too,
Nice.
along with medical and recreational weed. That's gonna take July 1st effect.
Oh shit, we've been like that here in Colorado forever, but not that it benefits me
Yeah,
much.
no
but...
kidding. No, but
No, first time I'd ever been to South Dakota, I stopped at a gas station and I put like $1 into this fucking little slot machine that y'all have in fucking every gas station there. And right off the jump, I had a straight flush except for one card, and I was like, oh shit, son! I was like, I got this shit. Or no, I had it full bore. I had the full 5, but you have to go at least to the next round to see if you won, and then cash out. And I hit the buttons wrong, and I thought I was doing hold, but no, it held them automatically for me. So I hit unhold everything, and then I fucking got all brand new 5 cards. I was like, son of a bitch.
Oh man, no, like I've gambled a few times up in Deadwood, and I don't know what it is, but sometimes I just get lucky. Like the last time I was up there was during the summertime, and I put in a $10 bill, and I won like $350. I was like, oh damn, like I'm feeling lucky. So then I went to the roulette table, and I won another $120. So I was kind of like,
Nice.
oh.
I'm taking your ass to Vegas with me then.
I've been to Vegas a few times, man. Vegas is a lot of fun. It's just very, very, very busy. There's a lot of people.
Yeah, that's the second problem is, like, now that I'm old enough to gamble, I've been there 3 times in my life and never when I was of gambling age yet. And so now I can actually gamble, but now I got the PTSD thing going, so I can't be around a whole bunch of people. Now it's like, fuck,
yeah.
now I still can't go.
Yeah, man, I wouldn't even want to go to Vegas at the moment with all this stupid COVID stuff going on. It's this world, like, I'll be honest, I feel like this world is just falling apart.
Yeah, that it is, my friend.
And
America's leading the way in that shit.
Yeah, and it's sad to say it's America doing it too.
But I don't know, like, at least when it comes to JMP, our number one rule above all else is you always keep things where they need to be. You do, like, non-disclosure is a huge thing. So I'm guessing it's the same thing with your labels. So I don't even know if you can answer this question of stuff you got coming up. Like, what are your coming up projects? What can we look forward to knowing that we're allowed to know about at this point?
Like I said, I'm pretty sure, I just released the On the Rise the remix as of February 3rd. That song is now available on my Songwhip. It's also available on Spotify, Apple, all digital platforms. So you could go check that out. Also, February 12th is, there will be more promotion coming with it, but I do have this EP coming out called Intermission. That will be out, and that is just a few songs that I felt were something to give people a little bit more to listen to. And like I said, it's featuring Blaze, and I think everybody's gonna dig it. And I also have you can follow me on Twitter, you follow me on YouTube. Man, I have pretty much everything. I'm even on SoundCloud. I bet the aliens probably are checking me out from the moon by now, honestly.
No, definitely. I'll make sure I get all of, or me or Jess, one of the two, gets all of your social media accounts so people can follow. Put that in the description. But what's the name of that song you said that just came out on the 3rd?
On the Rise, the remix.
Okay, I'll check that out, and as soon as I find a link to it, I'll put that in my description as well. Is that through your label too, or is that something I can react to? But
that is something I released through the label. The EP, the EP is also the EP was also is being released through the distribution, and then but I mean, I feel you could still react to them even if they're released. I mean, if you won't get a copyright strike, I don't think. I think they just say like, hey, you just can't monetize it and make money off of it.
Well, I'm not monetized anyway, but like, and I've heard from a couple people that have tried to do blood for Blaze. They said that their entire live stream got slapped down
Right.
because of that.
Well, the song, well, Fatal Attraction has already been released, so I mean, you won't. I don't think you'll get slapped for it because I mean, you played Elevate, and Elevate was released, and we're still live, you know.
Oh shit! I didn't realize that was part of the. Well, it lets me go live. It doesn't automatically just shut it down, but it won't. It prevents me from it going live after that for like rewatching. You know what I mean?
Oh, I gotcha. I mean, I would hope that it'll work. I mean, like I said, I mean, I mean, if plus because Fatal Attraction, even though it's also released, I mean, like I said, it should be okay. I mean, I would hope. I mean, I don't know why YouTube does that. That's kind of strange.
Because they're hoes.
They're hoes and they be slow, you know.
Well, Blaze is actually he's gonna go to y'all's label, whoever handles that whole thing, because it's not Blaze that's doing the monetizing or copyright strikes or whatever. It's the label. So whoever's in charge of that, he's gonna talk to them and try and get them to okay me reacting to Blaze's stuff. So
I am in the process of working on all of that right now.
Jess is handling it. So I'm assuming that that'll be label wide that I'm okay for reacting because I'm not trying to make money off of none of this.
No, and I completely respect that because like I would love to have like you and like I also have had I think you know who I'm talking. I can't remember his name. It's Reaction ENC or RNC or whatever. His he reacted to the my original On the Rise. Like Blaze had him react to my original track of it. So like I would really love to have, you know, like people like your channel and even him like react to these songs that I got coming up. Like even the EP, like like I said, the song with Blaze, I definitely recommend doing a reaction to that. Plus there's also another song on there that no one's even heard but Blaze and Dice, and that's like a tribute to my area where I live.
Well, when it comes to EP releases, what I like to try and do for people who I know personally, like now I know you personally, and I know Blaze, and I know Loopy wants me to do it for his, which I'm gonna at some point. Is I'll do an entire live that's just strictly reacting to that EP.
Right.
So I'll still do reactions and stop it after each song and break down what I liked, didn't like, and pick out bars here and there. But you know, it's basically me going through your entire album and checking it out for the first time.
Right.
And that's another thing with me that I'm sure you'll pick up on the more you watch my reactions and the more I react to you is I'm not one of those type of reactors that bullshits that it's a real reaction, that this is my first time hearing it. A lot of people will listen to it at least once and pick out the bars, sit down and listen to it like 5-6 times to sit down, write down every bar that they caught, and then they'll just read it off a teleprompter or something to make themselves seem smarter. But if something goes over my head the first pass, it went over my head. I didn't get it. But then I will always go back and re-listen and be like, okay, I did miss that bar. That's fucking awesome. Something like that. But I'll never give you a fake reaction ever a day in my life. So
and I respect that because it shows me that you're also very humble as well, and I like honesty.
Oh shit! Look who's in the chat. GT Digital Deeper Entertainment. Okay.
Yeah, look at that. Boom.
Empire holds those copyright strikes. We have reached out as the sub label to give the copyright. Oh, that's fucking badass.
Yeah. Hi, Hillbilly. Welcome.
Thank
I see
you.
that you've entered. You called us fuckers. Thanks for that.
Shout out GT Digital and Deeper Entertainment. Appreciate you doing that because, like I was just saying to him, I don't try and make no money off of him, Blaze, nobody even really. My reaction channel is strictly funded by donations, and they're funded by people paying me to react to shit. That's the only time I actually make money off of any reactions because I don't even have enough subs to be monetized yet. So my purpose is to elevate artists and to give them more eyes on their projects at all times. That's my entire agenda when it comes to my reaction side of life. So I appreciate you doing that, GT. I appreciate that. Now back to the
Yeah,
interview.
Yeah, yeah. Heck yeah. Yeah, yeah. I don't know if we're getting close to the time limit or not either. I don't know.
Um, I don't know. It doesn't have a timer thing. You would think it would, but
Yeah.
I don't. I don't think so because we started at what the fuck time did we start? We've been
Shoot.
streaming for 73 minutes and we've already had one break after 30. So no, I think we're good for a little bit more time.
Yeah, probably. I mean, if anybody's got any questions in the chat, I will gladly answer some questions. I know somebody had a question, but I think the chat's already way too far up to where I could even read that question.
Well, I know there was a weird question about sausage or eggs or something.
Bacon or sardines
Oh,
from
definitely.
Jay.
Bacon or sardines? Oh man, gotta go with bacon. Bacon's meat candy, bro.
Meat candy. I ain't never heard that said.
Yeah.
Sardine. I couldn't fuck with sardines. I don't like fish, so I don't know about that.
I like fish, but not sardines. That's just a little bleh.
What about pineapple on your pizza? You fuck with that?
Nope. That does not go on pizza, my friend.
Exactly. Thank you. There's some shit that just does not belong together. Like
Yeah,
me and my ex, we didn't belong together.
Yeah, no cap, guys, in the chat. Pineapple does not go on pizza. If you put pineapple on your pizza, you just need to go to the next insane asylum that's available for your taking.
Or get different taste buds.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I can't. I can't
or
even
just
eat
develop
pickles
COVID.
on my fucking. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, lose your taste. There you go. Have at it, man.
Like I don't even like to fuck with pickles on my burger. If I want a pickle, I'm gonna eat a pickle. I don't want my burger to be sour.
That's what she's.
Yeah, beat me to it. OP definitely fits in with the Jekyl crew because, yep.
Hey
we
man,
twist everything sexual.
Whenever you need a special, if you ever need a special guest, man, like I'm here.
Dude, I'm gonna hold you to that too, because we're always looking for guest spots for our shows, whether it's fire or flop, or with that being said. So that would be fucking awesome if you wanted to jump on one of them.
Oh, absolutely, man. Like my days off are Mondays and Thursdays. So whenever you have one of those on
every
any
Monday,
of those days,
every Monday is fire or flop, and that's where we
shoot.
I will take requests, and the panel gets the chat over here gets to vote whether that song was good or bad. I stay out of the vote.
Shoot, man, I'm down with that. I would do it with you on Mondays for sure.
All right,
a couple times, man. Definitely keep me in mind. I like I said, like I'm trying to get my name out there too. So like we can help each other, you know. Like now, like I've gotten to know you as well. Like I consider you a friend, and I also consider you part of the fam. You know, like I always, you know, I never judge anybody, even though like we just started. This is like our first time actually like talking. Like I got that vibe from you, like that I could trust you anytime.
Yes,
you know,
sir.
like
and
even Jess. Like if it wasn't for Jess, shout out to Jess, the twisted, the little tornado. Because if it wasn't for her being so awesome, like I wouldn't be here. So
she definitely does an amazing job. So definitely a round of applause for Jess right now, because she is the fucking man that's not a man. How's that? Woman. She's a woman.
Woman. Woman. Yeah.
Yeah, well, definitely get you on a episode of that, and fuck, who knows? Maybe even have you be the co-host that some bitch. Fuck it.
Heck yeah. Jay asked, "Who's your favorite independent rappers, and who are your music influences?"
Me and me.
Yeah. Well, music influences, like I said, Bone Thugs for sure. Lately I've been listening to a lot of Logic lately, and a lot of Joyner Lucas.
Still pisses me off. He fucking retired. God damn it.
Yeah, that I do. Yeah, and then I've also been listening. I love Eminem. I've always liked him as a kid, and to be honest, like I still can do Rap God. That some of them are doing Lama's thing, like the really fast part. And I've almost got the Godzilla part down just because like I like rapping to the songs that I enjoy. And I've been really listening to Side B because that's killer. But independent rappers, obviously Blaze. I've been listening to all of Blaze's music. Listen to some of Jekyl's as well. Like, and I don't always like listening to the famous people. I like listening to the underground because you get really a lot of good ideas, is like you said earlier in this interview. Plus also another artist I would have to say, it's another local artist from my hometown. He goes by Youngin. He's not really known quite well, but he's done a show out here in town. But he's got some bars. I do fuck with his music. And then other than that, there's not really many. Not a lot of my friends really do music except for other people, but they've never really recorded anything. But they've tried, but they just never really released anything. So they most likely do it as like a hobby instead of like trying to make it like a career. That's my dream, is just to like be able to like make my music as a career and like do it every day without having to work a side job.
It's a beautiful thing, I will tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
When you do something you love, you never work a day in your life, is the old saying, and fuck if that is not true.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I shoot, like, I may not be making money yet, but that takes time, because like, who knows, like, you never know, one day I might make something that like just like is the greatest song ever, like you never know until you give it your all. And like I said, each song I make, I try to make better than my last.
As it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Now, okay, so you said that one of your influences and one of your artists that you fuck with heavy is Eminem. Now, kind of going
Oh
back
yeah.
to what you and I were talking about again earlier in the interview, was some of your shit that you're trying to revisit is different completely than it is today. Now, the Eminem has been the same way. He did the crazy, shocking shit. He did the deep shit, and now he did his modern day shit.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see a like a big difference in any of those three when it comes to not just Eminem but artists in general? Do you think that it's okay to go back and do different shit like that, or should you just find out a lane that works for you and stick to that lane?
I mean, I feel it's up to the artist. Because Eminem, looking back, I've watched some interviews from Eminem when he did Kamikaze. You get those artists that get those comments from people like, "Oh, I miss the old you," like when they did with Eminem, like, "Oh, I miss the old version of you." And then when they bring him that, and then when they bring that to the table and they do something like that, then they're like, "Oh, this isn't what we were looking for." So, and like that's kind of like what they were doing. Like when M released Revival, everybody thought that was trash, but like me personally, I fucked with Revival. I thought it was a good album. And there's I feel it's up to the artist to choose, like, if they're going down a certain path. If they want to change it up, they can, but if they find something that works for them that people don't like, then I feel like they should still keep going down the path that they want to go down.
See, the only Eminem's album that I have not really fucked with a lot was Music to Be Murdered by Side B, the new one he just did. I'm
Oh,
not
that's
really
great.
feeling anything on that one, minus maybe one or two tracks. That's about it. But that's not to say that I don't fuck with Eminem. I think he's best of all time.
Yeah.
Like
And like
I was looking forward to an Eminem Logic NF collab that'll never happen.
yeah, oh man, that would be. And what's crazy is when he released his Music to Be Murdered By, you got the song Darkness, right? That 5, 6, 7 minute track where he's like in the persona of the shooter in Vegas.
Oh, that got so much backlash, but it was an excellent song.
Oh my God, but it was an excellent song. And it's like he got so much hate for that. And even the people that were mourning like the losses, like the family's losses, even the families that probably like heard of that track, they were just like, thought that it was very offensive, but it was not offensive at all. He was just like telling a story in a different perspective,
Yep.
but he was telling it in the perspective of the shooter.
Agree.
And even though he recorded that song and made that song in that perspective, it doesn't necessarily mean everything that he could have said was entirely exactly what had happened. Like the guy, yeah, he shot, like, yeah, he killed all those people. But like I think there was a verse in there saying like something about drugs or something, but like that not necessarily meant the case that he was on drugs. He might have just been like crazy. you know.
Let's see. Trying to get to these chat questions before they disappear.
Yeah, one person asked
Favorite
boxes
flavor
or
of ice
briefs.
cream.
Oh, flavor of ice cream. Where's that one?
That
Flavor of
is
ice cream.
from Jay. It was after the pineapples do not belong.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Favorite flavor ice cream. I like me the not moon. I almost said moon rocks. Moose tracks. I like moon rocks too. Those are good
Well,
too.
shit, I ain't heard that moon rocks we're talking about here.
Yeah, but moose tracks, yeah, moose tracks definitely.
Let's see.
I-
Who, oh, I already
Jay-
did. Boxer briefs.
and boxers or briefs. Oh man, I guess both.
Oh,
I
they're
wear both.
both too constricting. Don't
Yeah.
like I pick. Maybe it's a military thing that I picked up, but commando's the only way to go. Fuck that.
Yeah. Let's see. He said, have you thought of trying other genres of music? That's a tough question, honestly. You know, not really. I feel
What's your singing voice like? Like singing. Is it like mine where it's like cats being hit up against a tree?
Not really. Like I feel it's getting there because like I try to do a lot of harmonizing in my tracks. And like the way to do that is to like try to get my voice at a good tone. And I feel like I'm starting to develop a somewhat singing voice, but with my voice being not too high and not too low, but like right in the middle, it's a bit of a challenge to try to sing. I wish I'll be honest. I wish I had that what's that guy's name singing voice? God, I wish I had God, what's his name?
John Legend, Usher.
Usher's voice, yeah, or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because
If I did,
Usher could rap like a motherfucker and he could sing.
Mhm.
So he was
Yep.
like the double.
And don't forget the dance moves.
Yeah,
yeah,
or
the dance.
Akon would have been a great. I would love to sing like Akon because Akon could sing and rap as well.
Yeah, see, Akon kind of dips into that a little bit of the auto tune, a little bit.
Yeah,
And
see,
that
if
wasn't
you
even a
use-
thing back when Usher was coming out.
Yeah, and see, like I don't use auto tune, but like everybody says, if you use it like in a good way to like where it's not like all auto tune, auto tune's good. Like T-Pain uses it in a way that makes it sound like there's no auto tune, but like there you could tell it's there,
Yeah,
and
well, T-Pain was the originator of that heavy use of that shit too.
yeah.
So that was kind of his trademark, and then everyone mixed Lil Jon with T-Pain and came out with this new baby that was mumble rap, basically.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, like I don't know about you or anybody in the chat, but like I'll be honest, I hate mumble rap. I'll be honest, I'll say this on the chat. I don't like Migos. I don't like Kodak.
You like Snitch 9?
Nope, he's a rat. Fuck him, no cap. I don't mess with Trippie Redd. I mean, I don't know. Like, there's a few songs. There's one song maybe that I would listen to, but that doesn't sound too mumbly. But other than that, I don't really listen to mumble rap.
I've hated it since it came out because, like I told you, there's those three elements I always look for in a track, and none of them were there. Not a single fucking one.
And it's like, why rap about all this money, women, and drugs when like you can actually like try and make a difference in your music? Like my goal, my long-term goal in the music is like I want to be able to impact somebody's life in a positive way. So like I want to be an inspiration to somebody that if you, just like in my song Elevate, like if you've been always like brought down, like pick yourself up, be a man, like have that confidence and freaking reach your goal. And anybody can do it. You just got to put your mind to it. And if you don't, and if you just like, because like I feel there's a difference. So like there's hip hop and there's rap, right? Hip hop is like the culture, like doing it for the love of the music and the culture, and rap is like just to make money.
Yeah.
Like because
I can agree with you on that.
But like, don't get me wrong, there's still like there's a culture to just like straight rap. But most of it is all about that making the money and having that mentality of I can do this with this and I can do that with that.
Well, kind of a caveat to your answer to that is, like, all growing up, I always felt that Linkin Park connected with me because every single song that they came out with, I 100% could either feel, agreed with, been through the same things, or if nothing else, I would just throw that shit on and vibe to their songs because I knew what they were saying was relatable. So, do you feel that you are more there for reaching the goal of being able to connect with people as far as what they're going through, or they can vibe with you because they've already been through that shit, or not necessarily helping them past the point they're currently stuck in, but they could throw on your rap record, they could just vibe.
Um. I'll be honest. Could you repeat that question? I kind of.
Sorry, I
I kind of spaced out a little bit throughout the
it
question.
was kind of confusing the way I asked it. All right, there's one way where you connect with your audience because they're stuck in something you say in a track resonates with what they're stuck in, and it helps them get out of that stuck part. Or there's also, like with me, Linkin Park, they were either talking about something that I'd already been through, and so I could vibe with it, or basically their entire collection was shit I'd been through, I'm going through. I could connect with it that way. So is your main goal something that they can connect with because they're going through it and that they've kind of either been through or whatever, or is it more something to help somebody get through the spot they're stuck at currently?
Kind of a little bit of both. So, like, when it comes to the story or like the emotion when I release my music, because everybody like takes a song in a different way. Like some people take more personal than others, and like if they're gonna say it, because like for example, one of my song Fatal Attraction, like with the stuff that I was going through, like I feel that song could help somebody who is going through it, or also somebody who is also recovering, like a recovering addict. I feel they don't have to be in necessarily like going through the certain situation for that song to really have an impact on their life, but I feel that also they could at the same time, I guess. In other words, I don't know if that made sense or not, but
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of there for both.
yeah. Um, just because like everybody in life sometimes needs that little bit of just that little bit of like little guidance, or that little bit of help, and sometimes music can help people. Like I was actually told once, so like I was in Walmart, and I was just shopping for groceries and whatnot, and I seen or a couple of these teenagers walked up to me, and they're like, "Hey, are you OP?" I was like, "Yeah, why?" And they're like, "We listen to your music all the time on SoundCloud and YouTube and all this, and we just want to tell you we really love your music. Believe it or not, one of my really close friends uh, almost took their life, and your music helped them get through the situation that they were going through, and we just wanted to tell you thank you." And it almost made me cry right there in the middle of the store. I was just almost like I was in tears almost, just because of like my music prevented somebody from taking their own life, and I hugged both of them, and and I gave them my personal Snapchat to follow me, and whenever they needed somebody to talk to, I told them that I'd be there for them.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
And even to this day, like even like they gave my Snapchat to that person that almost took their life. I believe their name was Zach, and they snapped me and said, "Hey, I just want to tell you thank you. Like your songs helped me through this tough time." And I told them, "Hey, that's you just got to take it one day at a time. You got to keep that positive mindset. People, yeah, everybody goes through rough stuff, but it's what you make of it. Like let your soul be your guiding light through the troubles and times.
That's great advice right there. Speaking of advice,
Mm-hmm.
first of all, either me or you, one of the two of us, I'm thinking it's me because it happens most of the time. Uh, We have a hater because we got a thumbs down on this interview. But
who's the party pooper in this? I want to know in the chat right now who's the party pooper.
I think it's my little stalker that I got, because sometimes I won't even be live yet. I'll hit go live. The show hadn't even started. It's on that wait screen, and I'll have a thumbs down already. It's like, goddamn.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I bet you it wasn't Hillbilly. It wasn't Jay. It had to be Jess. I'm just kidding.
Like when it comes to well, that's one of my lead up questions actually. When it comes to your videos, like with me personally, I don't care if I get a thumbs up or down. I would prefer to get up, obviously, but either way, it's analytics. So I don't care if people want to hate to be dickheads, but do you agree with the fact that if you're gonna throw a thumbs down, if you're not just straight being a dickhead to be a dickhead, that they should at least tell you why they gave you the thumbs down?
I feel, yeah, like it's kind of like a respect thing. Like if you're gonna put a thumbs down, the respectful thing to do as a mature human being would be to type in the comments why you would put a thumbs down on it. Like just be honest about it. Like don't just put a thumbs down and leave. Like it's like rage quitting a video game. Like you're yelling at the fucking thing and then you just quit and then you let everybody down. Like I'm not saying this person that put the thumbs down, you said it could have been a stalker. They just could have been not a really nice person. They just felt like being an asshole.
I think it's my ex-wife, honestly.
Well,
that's why I attribute it to. Okay.
Well, meh. Fuck them.
Like us or hate us, they're still giving us a view.
Yeah, they're still giving you a stream. Not as well. Yeah, a view, my guy.
Yeah, they're giving a view. They're giving analytics. Either way, it doesn't hurt me. It helps me. But
yep. Like even Jay said it was a poop stain.
it probably was poop stain. There's this artist that goes by Casual Cheater, and he came out with this line in the first cipher and project I ever worked on with him, and he used the word poop stain, and it was like the most trash bar he could have thought of. So ever since then, me and Hillbilly and everybody just been nonstop giving him shit about that poop stain bar. That's my bad.
I mean, it couldn't have been nearly as bad as God. There's a verse that I put in one of my songs on an old EP. It was on this EP called Depression Suppression with my homie Slim. He's based out in Cleveland, Ohio. I can't remember which song it was on. I think it was No Trespassing. I was like, guess what? Chicken butt, not in your underwear, so please beware. Yeah, it was just something funny, and it just made everybody laugh. It reminds me of this one because Jay said it was poop stain. So, because there's some music that I have released that it wasn't released through GT Digital Deeper Entertainment. Like there's music that I released before I even linked up with them and whatnot. I just like the Depression Suppression was, I think I released in 2019. The Next Level was also another one that I released, and I believe that was before the Depression Suppression EP. But those are I had leased beats through Leo Legendary, and there's some really, really awesome beats, like a little bit of different sound in hip hop, but like, oh man, I just, you ever get that one beat that you get and you listen to it and then you have to listen to it like 5 more times and you're just like, oh my God. Dude, like that
was Monster, was the one that Blaze featured on. I listened to that beat for, I'd say, probably close to 5 months before I even came up with the idea of making that song Monster what it is today. I just loved that fucking beat, and I didn't know what I wanted to do with it yet, but it was so fucking awesome that I just couldn't sit on it. I had to figure out something to do with it.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to also waste on a bullshit song. I wanted something big to go with it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I don't even think I heard Monster yet. I think I'm definitely going to have to check that song out. Because I was talking to Blaze, and I was like, even though I also release music on my YouTube, I was like, what if I just also from time to time react to certain music and stuff, like not make a full-time reaction channel, but just react to just the fams tracks, or just react to some other underground artists as well, but I haven't really.
I'd definitely say go for it because I did what you're kind of talking about, or I wasn't a full time reaction channel. I did it kind of like you're saying. I just wanted to do it one day and just for something else to do, and now it's become mostly my bigger portion of my day is spent on reaction shit than it is actual writing songs. But if you've watched any of my, well, you said you listened to Criminal, and on there I was talking about Shannon Bream, the Fox News chick, who's hotter than fuck, and she's just been dethroned by a new chick, Sandra Smith. That's my number one straight across the board celebrity wife or celebrity crush, whatever you want to call her. And question just asked you is, who is your celebrity crush?
Oh,
but you can't have Sandra, otherwise me and you are gonna be fighting. She mine.
Oh man, celebrity crush. That's a tough one, my guy. I would have to choose Jennifer Aniston, honestly, because man, she's in her 50s, but she's still a MILF.
Yep, Jennifer's been on my list for a long, ever since Friends came out.
Yep. So Jennifer, if you're ever watching this ever in your life,
there you go, Jennifer.
Hit up the OP. I'll treat you right. I'm not no sugar daddy, but I'm just a real man.
Yep, go leave Brad Pitt and be with this guy.
I know. I can't believe she's with Brad Pitt. Man.
Like, I don't keep up with celebrity news. They might be broke up for a while now. For all I get, I don't fucking know.
Who knows? She could be Charlie Sheen and just be winning.
There you go. Let's see. If you could ask advice from one person, dead or alive, who would it be and what would it be about?
Oh, man. Shoot. Honestly, I would. Man, that's a tough one. A celebrity. Oh, or just a famous person. Man, who asked that question?
I think Jess, actually.
Oh man, Jess. Yeah, oh gosh.
She's making you think up in this motherfucker.
I know.
I followed it up with a nice, easy question.
Yeah, there you did.
That is true. Honestly, I probably want to say, this kind of might sound a little like opaque, but Tupac probably, just because I'd want to ask him, as advice goes, for like, with the shit that you were going through, like how, like, cause like there's some stuff that's like, it's hard to get through certain things in life, like, especially with like having that, I guess, like, that back then, like he was having that thug mentality, but like now with it being 2021, you can't really necessarily have that thug mentality anymore. You know what I mean? So like, I just kind of want to know, like, as far as advice goes, just like how to get through like the tough times of struggle. Like, he was making money to pay for his to like take care of his family and himself, but he would take care of his people close to him before himself, just like me. Like, I always try to help people closest to me before I help myself. So I just like, how are you able to do that? I guess, I don't know. It's sometimes a challenge.
This kind of goes along with that ish. Oh, sorry. The follow-up question to that one was, who is your favorite person from history? Doesn't have to be about hip hop or nothing else. Anyone. Einstein for all.
That wasn't my question.
That was.
Oh man, I'd have to say.
Oh, what was the follow-up to that one then? Sorry.
It's after Jay's question.
Oh, I missed it then.
Oh
yeah, yeah, I read it. Sorry. Well, answer your question. Right.
What was that question again? I don't even remember.
Who's your favorite person from history? Doesn't have to be hip hop.
Okay, favorite person from history. Gosh, I would have to say. Ooh. From history. I'd have to say Teddy Roosevelt. Because
did not see that answer coming.
No, well, here's my thing. I'm a nature guy. I'm a hunter, I'm a sportsman. I love the outdoors. And if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have, like reserves and like state parks where they can manage populations that don't get hunted, and we wouldn't have like game fishing parks and like game wildlife centers that help manage and control hunting and poaching in the states. Like if like a lot of animals would be extinct if it wasn't for Teddy Roosevelt. And to keep the tradition of the sportsman going, is the preservation and conservation of our natural resources, which is the habitat and the wildlife. It's kind of a mix. I know you're probably thinking like, wow, this guy's a rapper and he's a hunter out of the mix. I'm kind of a mutt when it comes to jack of all trades, professional of none.
That's actually what I say about being in infantry all the time is jack of all trades, master of one. So that kind of what goes with it. But see, now I can go one of two ways. That leads into a perfect segue to this next question that Jess asked about Ace. And then there's another way I could go with talking about nature and shit. So it's your choice. Do you want to talk about Jess's question or the nature question?
Well, let's do both.
Well, which one do you want first?
Let's do the nature question.
All right. Being from South Dakota, what are your feelings on cancel culture targeting Mount Rushmore?
Man,
Want the faces removed?
I don't think you can't take back the past with everything that's happened. I say the faces are on Native Americans' burial grounds, but I feel like those faces represent kind of like they represent something positive in South Dakota, but they also they also do represent something negative, with the fact that they're them also being on like tribal grounds. I mean, it's kind of you can't just like in one day take down the mountain, you know what I mean? So I mean, it's kind of a
they don't.
It's a very debatable argument.
Their argument is not so much about canceling the Mount Rushmore and like making the faces blow up and disappear off the mountain because of Native American burial ground shit. They want it gone because Abe Lincoln and like all those presidents that they're talking about on that mountain had slaves, and it's about slavery basically is why they want it gone.
Well, see, here's my thing on that. So the Abraham Lincoln was the president who abolished slavery first of all with that Emancipation Proclamation. So even if it wasn't for Abraham Lincoln in the first place, there would still be slaves to this day probably. So it's like there shouldn't be any hate on Abraham Lincoln. Yeah, I don't even think Abraham Lincoln probably had slaves. I bet you like there were slaves around when he was a child, but he personally probably didn't even own slaves. And if he did, he probably didn't prefer that. And I bet you if he did, he probably treated his slaves with definitely more respect than any of the other slave owners, because if you've ever a lot of slave owners that were white, they beat their slaves almost to death. Just for like dropping an egg or something. But
he did have slaves, but from what the historians are saying is he had slaves because that's what society was like back then.
But I think he treated them
he treated them better than a lot of the white people treated their own kids.
Yeah. And it's probably what got him to think, we shouldn't have slaves, because my thing on race and color is we're all people. It doesn't matter by the color of our skin. I feel that we should all still be able to all get along and have respect for one another. Now, the reason why people hate on the colored is because, of course, there's those ones in that sort of race that put a bad name out for themselves, which cause people to hate on that particular race. And it's stupid because one person could, like you say, you got a group of 6 people, and out of 6 of those people, like they're like 3 of them are black, right? If one of them makes a bad name for themselves, the white people aren't really going to be the ones that get looked bad upon themselves by other people. It's going to be the other black people.
Yeah.
Because of that one person's mistake.
Yeah, but that's
it's
with all
kind of
races
silly.
though. Like all races have idiots. Like there's good
Exactly.
black people, there's bad black people, there's good white people, then there's KKK type people.
Yeah, and I feel just everybody should just learn to get along. Like we're all human beings. The stupid KKK shit doesn't work no more. We're in 2021. Everybody should respect everybody as a human being. Like we're all here for a reason. We shouldn't have no white supremacy and stupid nonsense like that. Like, come on.
I fully agree.
The thing is, even if they, like, I don't know what those who ignore history are doomed to repeat it.
Right.
Exactly.
And you can wipe out, you can take down every statue, change every school, street, and wipe out every remembrance in a public place of slavery, but it's still not going to change the past.
No.
It was a fucked up time in our country, but the country, every country, a great country, if you look at, they have their dark times, they grow, they overcome them, but for some reason, this country doesn't want to remember those times and overcome and grow from them. They just want to erase them like they never existed.
Yeah, and then teach our children a complete different distortion of history that isn't the real thing. It didn't actually happen the way they're trying to teach it. That's what drives me fucking crazy. But anyway, I'll go off on a rant like that, like a motherfucker. You keep me on this subject.
No kidding.
Next question is, like, aside from being a rapper and everything else I've done in my life, a veteran, every job I've taken up, I learned how to be a tattoo artist, and I think I do really good work. I'm a cover-up specialist by trade. I can do everything, but that's what I like to stick to. And Jess wants to know, and where this comes from is he's actually my son's godfather, which is scary because he likes to juggle hand grenades after he pulls the pin in them. And I have video of it. I have a video of it.
I wouldn't expect anything less from a friend of yours, Jekyl.
Oh my gosh, that's ballsy. Oh,
it is, because grenades, they got that thumb safety, but that thing is, you can cough and that thing will fucking pop off.
5 seconds. That's all the grenades got, right?
3.
You better throw that at 2.
or not juggle them. That'd be the best way to do it. But anyway, I drew up a tattoo that I thought was hilarious, and I had nobody tattoo at the time. I was like, nobody was in my house. I was like, God damn it. It was like Colgate, got him on the phone. I was like, you need to come over right now. So he came over. I was like, I drew this up. Let me tattoo it on you for free. And he's like, well, I don't have any more skin because you've tattooed everything else. I'm like, oh, you got skin on your ass, right? So he let me tattoo this drunk frog on his ass. And Jess's question is, would you let Jekyl tattoo a butterfly on your ass? Random question, Jess. Random fucking question.
Honestly, if it was a dope ass butterfly, probably have you do like a wing on each ass cheek.
I wouldn't like that because the butthole would have to be the body of it, and that's closer than you than I ever cared to be.
No, hashtag no homo there, my friend.
No.
Like, I mean, I would let you do a butterfly, absolutely. Because then if I'm getting it freaky with the lady, then she'd be like, "Is that a butterfly on your ass?" I could be like, "Yes, it is."
I don't want to know why she'd be messing with your butt in the first place to notice there's a butterfly in your ass, but what goes behind your closed doors, bro? Whatever happens when you shut that door, man.
Don't have this turn into another discussion about last night.
Oh no.
Yeah, last night we spent about the whole episode talking about girls shitting on guys' chests, but. All right. Next question is, who is your favorite person from history?
I think
we already answered that.
We already answered that one.
Yeah. Don't mind
Jekyl.
What is your writing process like?
Oh man, so I'll pull up a beat, I'll listen to it a few times. I won't start writing yet. I really like to like listen to the sounds and the tones of the music. Like I really like, because like that's where I get my creativity, is like hearing the different ways the song is being played to me, or the beat is being played. And then I'll grab either my phone or my notepad, and I'll write down well, I prefer writing by hand, because I feel I could put more meaning into my writing by hand. Like the more harder I feel like I'm writing, the more like the more aggressive the like how I will record it will be. The more lighter I write, the less aggressive I am, the more happier or the more vibey I am.
Thank you for saying that, because I started to think for a minute I was the only one that still used like a pen and a fucking notepad. Everyone else
Yeah.
seems to be putting shit on their cell phones and shit. I'm like, I can't do that.
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
usually, and then when I write, I usually start by writing 8 bars at a time, 8 to 16. My writing method, I usually try to do like a little bit. It's a little kind of, I guess I'm still working on it, but I tend to go like ABA rhyme scheme, or I'll try to do like a little bit of like ABBA, something like that,
Yeah.
But I kind of tend to switch it around a little bit. I'm really trying to like keep it at like the ABC kind of like every other sort of lines rhyme or something like that. But I still haven't quite gotten there yet. There's always room for improvement, so I'm just kind of taking it one day at a time. Sometimes I read I have an actual like dictionary and a thesaurus like in my like underneath my bed. So like every once in a while when I'm writing, I'll pull out those books and I'll open them and I'll look at words and I'll find words that rhyme with other words, and I'll try to like I'll look them up, figure out their meanings to see when I'm writing if I need to use if this word goes along with what I'm talking about.
Now, with that being said,
Okay, I have a question
Okay, what's your question?
that goes with what you just said. I'm somebody who's fairly new to the rap
genre.
genre. Can you explain what like you mean when you say A B? Now I forgot how you.
So like the ABA ABC
Thank
rhyme
you.
scheme. So I guess if I'm rhyming like I'm here to have a blast from the past that I'm never gonna come in last, like that's like all three lines rhyming together. But like if I'm like here to have a past and it ain't up for debate here in my home state, but I'm never gonna come in last. It's like A, then the two middle ones rhyme, and then the two outer lines rhyme and the two middle lines rhyme. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
The rhyming words can also, some people call them push words or whatever. Those are the rhyme scheme based.
Yeah. And you can like and it's just like with every artist, like you can rhyme words that don't sound alike. It's just how you say it.
Yeah, it's called word bending.
Yep.
But
Eminem does that very well.
He's the king at that shit. But speaking of kind of Eminem and what you were talking about, rhyme style, and having a thesaurus and a dictionary on hand, so a lot of people, myself included, I love the app or the website Rhyme Zone.
Oh, I use it all the time.
Because some people say it's for artists who aren't good enough to know rhyming words. It's like, no, I know I have a ridiculous, I don't know, I wouldn't say ridiculous, but I have a very good vocabulary. I know a lot of fucking words, but I might not readily think of every single rhyming word right off the top of my head when I'm writing. So I'll go to that, I'll type in whatever I'm trying to rhyme, and I'll be like, okay, that would actually work better than this one right here. It's right. I don't see it as cheating. It's the same thing as you do with a dictionary. It's just quicker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you use it. So obviously you don't consider it to be cheating. Do you think it makes you any less of an artist if you do use it?
No, not at all. Everybody has their own way of writing music. It's definitely not cheating. I would consider cheating like, I mean, I guess not really cheating. I mean, I guess if you have a ghostwriter that writes all your music for you, would be considered like cheating in a way, because it's not any of the things that you're coming up with. It's somebody else writing your music for you. You know.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you use a thesaurus or anything like that, it's fair game.
I think if any other genre than rap, a ghostwriter is 100% acceptable. Because like, if you can't sing for shit like me and I come up with an amazing song, I just can't sing the motherfucker. But when it comes to rap, if you don't write your own raps, you probably shouldn't be in rap.
Exactly.
Maybe that's just because I'm in rap, and that's just.
Mhm.
Let's see. If you had a time machine, what would you tell the young you? Part one of the question. And part two of the question is, would you then go to the future to find out what your best song ever was and give you the details to it, or do you think that would ruin shit?
Oh man. Well, if I were to, I would, if I would travel in time, and I would meet my younger self, I would, man, I feel like that would ruin it, to be honest, because like I don't want to just know that I'm gonna make a great, like, one of my greatest songs of all time. Like I don't want to just know that off the top, like right away. Like I want to like develop up to that point. Um, I, I guess I would tell my younger self, stay humble and stay wise, because you're in just the beginning of what you're going after, and then go from there.
Okay, so you,
I don't just want something handed to me, in other words.
even though it would be the older you handing you your current day self your best track ever, you want to actually get to that position?
Yeah, I would actually like to get to it.
I agree with you on that because if say Eminem gave himself, like, in my opinion, one of his best songs he ever did was either Fall or I don't know, Fall. Let's just say Fall.
Fall was a good one. I actually know the whole lyrics to that song.
Well, let's say he gave himself that before he ever did My Name Was. I don't think he would have gotten to the level he's at currently.
You don't think so?
I don't think he would have. I think he would have.
No.
I think he would have had a lot of good songs, but I don't think he'd be the goat the way he is. Because I think a lot of shit that he's done from My Name Is to now or to Fall made him the goat.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I could agree. I could agree with that. I mean, like I Blaze has told me, because I've talked to Blaze about this. Like when I did the track with Lazy Bone, like it almost made my head. It kind of put me in kind of a similar situation. It almost made me feel like that I accomplished one of my goals, which was to, of course, to do a song, a feature with one of Bone or all of Bone, but that, of course, the one with all the Bone is still a goal. But just to do one with Lazy, it almost made my mind think like I've accomplished everything. So what else do I got to prove? But I know there's still a lot to prove and a lot to do.
Well, there is, but you can also adjust your goals accordingly. Like, say tomorrow, one of my goals of all time, which I guarantee I'll never get there. Like, I shouldn't guarantee that on myself, but I am, is to do a feature with Eminem without
I would
without
never
having
do
to
that.
pay for it or anything. Like him, just know who I was and wanted to work with me instead of vice versa. I know that ain't gonna ever happen, but say I get that tomorrow, like I would feel like what you're talking about. Like, okay, where do I go from here? There's nowhere to go from here but down. But you can always
Hmm.
readjust your sights and be like, okay, I did a feature with Eminem. Now I want to do, X, Y, and Z. I want to win this many awards. I want to have this many record sales. You can always adjust accordingly.
Yeah. Oh man, that's another goal. Man, if I were to be able to do something with Eminem, that would be like shock and awe. Like I would probably like faint if I ever had the opportunity to do that. I would just fall right out of my shoes.
According to my oldest kid, who's 8, gonna be 9 in March, he already thinks I did something with Eminem because he heard me on the track with Maniac. So he's like, "You're on a song with Eminem." I'm like, "Yeah."
Well, I bet Maniac. I bet he spits fast. That's probably what got him to think that it was Eminem.
No, have you not heard Maniac? Oh, from
I
the
don't, I
from the
don't,
Asylum, dude, literally sounds exactly like Eminem, like completely. It's fucking crazy.
I'm gonna have to check that out. Jess is probably definitely gonna have to send me that link if she's got it, because she already sent me the link to Monster, so gives me more of an excuse to check out some more of your tracks, because
Yeah,
like I said, I bump a lot of stuff in my car on the way to work when I go to work. So
yeah. I'll send her the track to the one I did with Maniac, and it's a song called "Get Out," and that shit was hilarious. How excited Eminem his favorite rapper ever, and he heard me on that. He's like, "Oh my god, you're on there with Eminem," and I didn't have the heart to tell him because he told
Oh,
all of his friends at school, and then it became this big. It wasn't a lie because he thought that, so he told all of his friends and shit. So it became a lie on my part because I didn't tell him the truth. But hey, fuck it. As long as he's 9 years old, coming up on 9 years, I won't be his hero much longer until he gets like out of college. Then I'll be his hero again. But for the meantime, I'm just gonna enjoy it. Okay.
yeah, might as well enjoy the ride. You think you did something with Eminem? That's great in its own self.
Let's see. One last thing before we check out your other track is the next question is, what do you do outside of rap? That you said you wish you could do this full time and get paid to do it. What do you do until you get to that point? What are you doing now?
Currently, I work for a company called Under Canvas. It's like a glamorous campsite. It's got like these full size tents and bedrooms, bathrooms, all sorts of stuff. It's like up by Mount Rushmore. That's during the summertime. As of right now, I get to play with breasts all day at Popeyes and make chicken.
Oh, I thought you worked at Hooters or something. I was like, damn.
No, I'm a cook at Popeyes for the winter time at the time being. But it's great because all I do is, like I said, do what I cook chicken all day and then I leave. Easiest thing in the world.
There you go.
Don't have to do much than that. But I in my spare time do a lot of hunting. Actually, did a lot of pheasant hunting this year in South Dakota. The nature around here is just super beautiful. I live in the Black Hills, but we got some beautiful trees. Trees and rocks and mountains and all sorts of stuff.
Okay, so you like hunting? Because one of the other questions is your other interest, but it's like, since you love hunting, if you like deer and elk hunting, I'm gonna have to invite you up to my family cabin one of these days because we got 365 acres on Aspen Ski Resort Mountain. So 365 acres, and you got 2 lakes on that bitch, a cabin. You can do what the fuck ever you want to up there. No land bureaus allowed even on my property. So,
man, if you, I'll tell you what, if you had some pheasant up there, I would so come up and do some pheasant hunting.
yeah, we got pheasants up there too.
No way, bro.
You can hunt whatever the fuck you want to up there.
You know what's funny is I was just talking to my friend Ryan about this. I was like, bro, like, because like I took him out on his first pheasant hunt this year in South Dakota. He got his first rooster. We go by the book, we hunt legally and respectfully. And we're like, I was telling him like, I really want to go out and hunt out of state and try out of state hunt for some ringnecks and some deer or something. You just gave me an idea. So
Yeah, if you ever find yourself in Texas, do a hog hunt.
Oh, I want to so bad.
Yeah, that's one thing you can't hunt up there because we ain't got none. But we got bears and shit up there.
It's pretty intense.
I'd want to go helicopter style, just shoot them out of the helicopter. Pew 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 pew.
If you like the taste of bear, you can go up there and go
safer.
bear hunting. Because I don't like the taste of bear. I think it's too oily and chewy, personally.
Yeah, well, what's the laws for like what's the tags out there like for big game? Is it over the counter, or do you got to do like a lottery?
Depends on where you go. If you go on my property, you can shoot whatever the fuck you want.
Well, you got to have the right license to do so either way. Even if you're on land in some states, gotta have the right tag for it. But I'd get my small game and come up there and just shoot some pheasants. So definitely. Oh man, that'd be a heck of a good time. And record some music in the meantime. I would love to like get you on a feature sometime and rap.
For sure. That was going to be one of my questions as we wrap up is getting on a track with you at some point. But as far as the hunting legalities and shit, I honestly couldn't tell you what they are because I have that property where we just go up there and shoot what the fuck we want.
Yeah.
And then we quartered up there, we packaged it up there, and then you just drive home.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean,
that's how it's been my entire life.
Yeah.
So
basically out here too.
Because I go for people too. You can shoot whatever you want on there.
Hey,
I
we
mean,
got 365 to bury somebody wherever you want.
yeah, I have a terrorist hunting permit. It never expires, and there's no limit.
I think I need to invite my ex-husband fishing.
Well, you got to get him up to my cabin first.
Shoot. Oh, that'd be a good old time going out and doing some hunting with some rap, with some music people, like music buddies. Like that's just like being outside is like the greatest in the world, to be honest.
Well, I'm trying, but COVID's making it very fucking difficult. I'm trying to get people to come to Colorado. We go up to my cabin. We basically just do what the fuck we want to up there and just hang out. And trying to get as many people as I can. I've been trying to get Hillbilly up here for a while.
Trying to get Blaze's ass up here.
Yeah, get Blaze up here, bring you up here, bring Jay up here, bring Jess over from Maine. She had to go to fucking Maine instead of staying her ass in Texas.
Why are you in Maine, Jess? Are you insane? Because you're living in Maine? Are you keeping it tame like a lion in the zoo? What do you got to lose because you're in Maine?
Because she got a bug up her ass and she lost her damn brain. That's why.
Ah, yeah. You finished. You came back with the rhyme.
But I did get an alert that my session with you is going to be killed again. So I'm going to start the song again like I did last time on Fatal Attraction. And then we'll come back. Tell me about that track a little bit after we come back. And then we'll get into some wrap-up questions. And we should be good to go at that point.
Sounds like a plan, man.
All right. So I'll catch you on the other side of this video.
Heard that.
I knew how to do this one. I hate buttons.
Yeah. You are now listening to Deeper Entertainment. Yes, I admit that I was addicted. Popping pills on the daily with no prescription. Had a problem and honestly couldn't fix it. Was lacking the motivation and the ambition. The picture let me paint it. My demon couldn't tame it. I was on everything, meth, cocaine, you name it. I almost died a few times. You'd think that I would wake up, but it was back to the drugs was all that I could think of. I was at my lowest rock bottom. Thought I'd never stop. Living life, steady smoking. I was high around the clock. Looking back, I hate the way that I was acting. Couldn't shake it, guess it was just a fatal attraction. Yeah, high around the clock, I don't wanna stop. I was wildin' out, yeah, that was back then. Steady rolling up, couldn't get enough. Guess it really was a fatal attraction. Wasn't living hell, wasn't doing well. Motivation, yeah, I was really lacking. Had to give it up, that ain't what I want. No more giving in to the fatal attraction. Living life on the edge, it was frantic. Never thinking about the consequences or the damage I was doing to myself or my family. It was all about the rush, I just had to have it. Now I ain't trying to preach, I'm just telling you my life. The pain that I overcome, that is what I write. This is not the life, it's empty and hollow. The future ain't for sure, ain't a promise for tomorrow. What I was chasing was a fantasy, a temporary high, really it was just insanity. Sacrificing everything, so I had to wise up. The person in the mirror, well I don't recognize him. I want better things, wanna be healthy and travel. This evilness I'm dealing with is hard for me to battle. I had to find help, cause I feel it's really breaking me. But I'm hoping for my spiritual awakening. Yes, cause I'm sick and tired of feeling so depressed. If I'm being honest, I know that I'm a mess. Need to make a change, I wanna start fresh. Put the drugs down, I'm ready to accept any challenges that help me overcome. They say when you down, only way for you to go is up. To myself I made a promise that I would finally stop this. As for my story, well it's only getting started. High around the clock, I don't wanna stop. I was wildin' out, yeah that was back then. Steady rolling up, couldn't get enough. Guess it really was a fatal attraction. Wasn't living hell, wasn't doing well. Motivation, yeah, I was really lacking. Had to give it up, that ain't what I want. No more giving in, it's a fatal attraction. It was not easy, the battle ain't over. Fast forward, look at me, 3 years sober. Yeah, I was a user, but it did not define me. I was on the rocks, but I kept on climbing. I did let the drugs guide me, but I came out and the sun was shining. Yeah, it was hard, but I had to be strong. Who would have thought I would be here in my town of Keystone? Family and friends living better than I did. I was on a mission, said that I would never quit. Had to find a way out of this life, cause it was pretty empty. Wanted friends back then, now I have plenty. This is really motivation to you. If you struggle, you can go get help, homie. You ain't gotta suffer. I had to be honest with myself, no more lies. Now I'm looking back and I can see that I could rise. And if they doubt you, never mind them. You can do anything, you gotta remind them. This life's too short to be smoked out, drugged up, to turn it all around, yeah, that's what's up. Hey, and they gonna know my name, and they gonna know my battles and know that I overcame, for real. Hey, and they gonna know my name, and they gonna know my battles and know that I overcame, for real. High around the clock, I don't wanna stop. I was wildin' out, yeah, that was back then. Steady rolling up, couldn't get enough. Guess it really was a fatal attraction. Wasn't living hell, wasn't doing well. Motivation, yeah, I was really lacking. Had to give it up, that ain't what I want. No more giving in to the fatal attraction. Yeah. For anybody that's going through struggles right now, I've been there. Just gotta keep your head up, you know? Just gotta keep moving forward. Don't let nothing stand in your way of happiness. Keep the good vibes and the good times. High around the clock, I don't wanna stop. I was wildin' out, yeah, that was back then. Steady rolling up, couldn't get enough. Guess it really was a fatal attraction. Wasn't living hell, wasn't doing well. Motivation, yeah, I was really lacking. Had to give it up, that ain't what I want. No more giving in to the fatal attraction.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I know you talked a little bit about it before, about what this was, what was going through your mind, what was going on in your life and everything when you wrote it. Has that aspect changed at all? Like, I know you said that you've been off drugs and everything, which I'm very happy to hear that. But as far as your views on, I guess, the topic, has that changed at all?
I guess yes and no. Like, I believe, you know, if you're gonna do certain things, you know, I'm not condoning in the stream the usage of any hard drugs or substances. But I feel if you're gonna do something, do it responsibly. Don't let it ruin your life like I almost let meth do for me. Like, I feel like I always look back on my past and there's always still something new to tell. Like, there's always something, like, I always learn from different mistakes that I've made in my past, and it's just moving forward with it.
Best you can ask of yourself at any given point in life, whether it's good or bad.
Exactly.
When you do make a mistake, learn from it, live through it, and don't make that same mistake.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if you're okay with answering anything about your drug usage or whatever, your drug of choice, I'm guessing, was meth. And you said that you have ADHD. Did that kind of play a part into wanting to either try meth or continued use of it?
No, so like when I first tried it, it was an accident. I didn't know that I couldn't tell the difference between, you know, cocaine and methamphetamines at the time. But when I with ADHD, it was kind of crazy because when I did it, it wouldn't make me like hyper and crazy and like super gacked out like it made a lot of other people. It would just level me out. And because when I was younger, I was on prescription Adderall, which is like legal meth kind of in a way. And so doing the methamphetamines, it kind of leveled me out the same ways that it did with Adderall.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of getting to that question, because my son has ADHD and he's basically on Adderall. I don't know the exact name of this drug because I can never pronounce this shit. It's the generic version of Concerta, basically.
Right.
And
I remember I was prescribed on that as well.
And it levels him out. So I was wondering if you chose that one to not necessarily try it for the first time, because you said it was a mistake, but to stay on it as long as you might have had stayed on it. because it did level you out, and you were more like everybody else at that point.
Yeah. I my thing was like my mentality was when I was doing drugs, like when I put it down, I basically just put it down. It wasn't because I was in any legal troubles at the time. Like I had gone through legal troubles, but it wasn't for methamphetamines. It was for something completely different. But after even during that time, even before that time when I was doing it, I put it down because, you know, for one, it was not because of any legal issues. It was just because of the fact that like when I was doing it, I didn't like the effects it gave me afterwards, like the come down and the feeling it gave me, or staying awake. Like I just put it down. I never really had to like purchase it. Like the people I were hanging around with, I were at the time, they just kind of gave it to me as you know, whatever. So I just kind of put it down one day and said, I'm done with it.
That's awesome, though. Like, did you ever want to get back on it after having put it down? Because when I was back in Aspen growing up, I worked for a drywalling company, and everybody on the drywalling company was either smoking crack or doing coke or whatever. But I was heavy into crack. Like I'd smoke it all the time just because that's what everyone else was doing. Then I saw it ruining my boss's life because his kid got taken away, his job or his business got shut down, everything. He was losing everything. And I didn't
Mhm.
want to be that type of person. I didn't want my life to be over. So I just stopped doing it, and I've never looked back. Never even wanted to.
Mhm.
Or is it the same way with you, where you just put it down, you were done with it, or is,
No, like I had my times of like there was a time like before I was 3 years clean off of it that I did relapse. After I got through all my legal stuff, I ended up relapsing a couple weeks after, and I felt really bad. I felt really guilty just because like I knew I shouldn't have done it, but I did. So that around that time when I had done it, I had that was when I had put it down. I was like, all right, I don't want this to take over me. So I started developing that mentality that if I were to relapse again, which I'm not saying that I'm going to, I'm basically doing my best in my power to say no. And when you say no, you know, I feel a lot better when I say no because I feel better in myself because I'm proud that I never did it. Um, it basically keeps me away from it and to keep clean. And, you know, I don't want to have to like go from 3 years to have to restart from scratch.
yeah, I can understand that. Let's see. Next question is, let's see. When you were talking about the way you choose, like you choose what songs you want to do and stuff like that and everything, and you were saying that the beat or the way you write your songs is you listen to the beat and you vibe with the beat for a little bit. Do you personally need that beat to speak to you before you'll commit to doing anything with that beat? Or have there been times where somebody wanted you to do a collab or a feature and you just didn't vibe with that beat at all? So you had to say no to the fucking collab?
Um, yes and no, I guess. So I I can honestly really get down to just about any type of rap beat. There really, I've kind of had that mentality. Like if I can flow to one style, I could flow to other styles of hip hop. So like I've had like yes, I have turned down certain beats that people have sent me like, yo, will you collab on this with me? And I've listened to the beat and I'm like, no, I'm not really feeling it. But like there are other people like I may not really be feeling the beat, but there's still potential that I could, you know, write something to this beat that actually it sounds really good. And there have been times where I have written stuff for other artists that I didn't really vibe with the beat, but I still recorded a verse for it.
Okay. Would you, or would you, or have you ever said no to a collab or a feature because you don't necessarily fuck with that whatever the topic of it, basically? Like for me, I don't smoke weed, but I don't condemn those who do. But that means that you'll never hear me on anything that's talking about smoking weed all day.
I mean, I can like if someone's doing a rap about like their past doing heroin or something like that, like I could talk about like, I've never done that per se. Like if depending on the topic, like say that it's a topic about like something I've never done before, I could still probably write something that pertains to the topic, but just not something through an experience that I've gone through per se. I could write it in like a fiction. I could like write a verse in like that pertains to like a fictional story of like somebody going through that similar thing, But it's still speaking facts or truths about that particular subject with that fictional verse.
See, that's like this whole going on over 2 hour interview. That's the only thing you've said so far that you and I differ on is I can't get on a project, a collab, whatever is going on if the beat that they got, if I don't vibe with it, if it doesn't speak to me, I can't give that my all. Like I can do a rhyme style or scheme that would fit the beat, but it has to speak to me personally on a level
Okay.
where it's like, okay, I can definitely get down with this, or I just have to say no, I ain't feeling it. And the same with the topic. Like like I said, the weed reference. I smoked a lot of weed back in high school, so I can relate to it. But if they're just want to do a track about getting high and smoking weed all day, I can't do that because that's not what I do now.
Right.
So
Like, and I'm not saying that I could like do that with everybody. Like, it kind of just depends on the subject that they're talking about in the rap in the song. You know what I mean? Like if they're talking about like I don't know, like robbing somebody. Like I've never robbed anybody, so like I have no input on it.
yeah, and it's not something you necessarily agree with, robbing other people.
Yeah, because I've been robbed before and it fucking sucks.
It ain't fun.
No.
And the last question I got, unless anyone else has any questions, is if somebody wants to pay for a feature from you, how much would it be for one? And two, if they paid you or were going to pay you, and then they gave you this trash ass shit, would you still make them pay for it, and would you still be on the feature even though their verses were ass?
I kind of leave the price up to the person. So my thing is like, if somebody wants a feature from me, I tell them, look, here's the beat, here's my verse, or excuse me, I said it wrong. If they send me the beat and their verse and I listen to it, if they want a feature from me, I'll give them I'll give them a sample verse for it. And if they really like that verse that pertains to the subject and that is good with the track, if I'll tell them, you decide what you think it's worth. If you just like how much you want to pay me, in a way.
Most people say free.
Right, but I'll tell them it not free, but if they're gonna pay for it, what you think it's worth. But most of the time, I'm at like a flat. If you really want to feature with me, $50. Nothing too expensive. Like $50 is anybody can do a $50.
Yeah.
But as far as the other part to your question, I'm trying to remember what it was. There's
like say that they haven't even given you their verse yet. They just say they have an idea for a topic and they want you to collab, and you're saying, yeah, I'm down to collab. That's fine, dude, not a problem. And then they deliver their verse after you had already gone through the work of doing your verse, or even before then, and it was just ass. Would you still charge them to be on it, one, or would you just say, you need to either redo that or I'm off?
Still charge them, probably. Like, that sounds really greedy of me, but like I'd still charge them, but I'd give them the opportunity that if they want to make any changes, now's the time to do it.
Okay, so you wouldn't just pull from the project completely because they were ass?
No. Got to give them a chance. At least give them a chance, to like redeem themselves, I guess, in a way. Because like I'll tell them straight up, like if they send me a verse, like their stuff with their verse, and I'm about to feature on it, if it's trash, I'll tell them straight up, yo, like this is trash, but I'll still feature on it. Like I'll be honest with them.
Well, see, that's the way I've always looked at it. Is I've only pulled out of 2 projects ever in my life, and that's how bad they were.
Because
But
you never know, like their verse could be trash, but like your verse that you put into their song could make their track actually sound better.
exactly, like that's what I'd look at it as. Is they might yours might be complete ass, and I'm not like the messiah of all fucking things rap. But if I can make your track that much better and give you more eyes to view your project just because people see I'm on it, then I'm all for it. That's perfectly fine with me. And I'm like I said earlier, I'm competing against her, who the person I'm on with any fucking way.
Yeah.
But
Right.
as far as the questions, I think that's all that we got from the fans. That's all the ones I got. If there's any information that you want put out there, now's the time, my friend. Floor is yours.
I just want to say thanks again to you, Jekyl, and to Jess for allowing me to be interviewed by you guys and share this with everybody. I got to share some of my music that's been released, and it's been I've actually had a really good time. It was I'm not gonna lie, I definitely had butterflies in my stomach at the beginning, but you know, we just went through it and we got her done. If anybody would like to show their support, they could follow me on my Facebook page, OpWaNkAnOP, my Twitter at OpWaNkAnOP1. I do have TikTok. Yeah, that's the thing now, I guess. La la la.
You
I'm
ain't gonna
not.
see me on that shit. Nope.
No, but and then also my Instagram, which is at OP1 or OP1Kanopi as well. My like is my email per se. Jess has my email, Jekyl, and since I'm assuming now you have my email, whenever you need assistance or like a guest, I have, if I got the time on on my day off on the Mondays and whatnot, I'm your man. But I really do hope anybody that would like to check out a new different vibe of hip hop, come check me out. I may not be the greatest, but I've got some bars and I'm just trying to spread a good positive vibe.
Send me all your links for whatever social media you want listed in the Majigger, and I will pass that on to Jekyl to post in the Majigger.
And by the Majigger, she means the description.
Heard
Thank
that.
you.
The latest I could get, I'll get you all of them is probably sometime tomorrow. Because right now with it being midnight, my plan was after this interview to probably hit the bed because I got a long day at work tomorrow. But the latest I'll get them to you is tomorrow around 10, if that's
That's fair.
okay.
That is fair.
That's
Holy
fine.
fuck,
This
it's
thing
2
probably
a.m.
won't even render for at least till tomorrow. So you got plenty of time, my guy.
Yeah.
Perfect. And I'll send you that. And honestly, if it's better, I'll send you the link to Songwhip, because that shows all my I'll send you the Songwhip, which has all my different music platforms, and then I'll send you my Instagram, and then my other one's separate, because the Songwhip is the one that has everything.
Okay, that works.
So
if somebody wants to get a hold of you for, say, a feature or whatever, what's the best way to get a hold of you? Because I know some people, like, I got an Instagram, I never checked the motherfucker.
So there's two ways. So one, you get a hold of Deeper Entertainment, you get a hold of Joseph Sanner, also known as Dice, get a hold of his email. Or you can email my personal email at joeyburnett26@gmail.com. Those are the two ways.
And I have the proper spelling for his email written down.
Yes,
Okay.
you do.
And
I would hope.
now, with you being on that label, if somebody does want to do a feature with you, what type of freedom do you have to either accept or turn down the feature? You got to go through them to get their approval first, or how does that work with your label? Just so I know because I work with Blaze, but so everybody knows.
I'm pretty sure. See, I would imagine it's the same as Blaze. If somebody wants to do a feature with me, I'm always down to do a feature. Like I don't think I have any restrictions on who I can and who I can't do a feature with. But it doesn't matter. Like at this point in time, I'm not currently really accepting features at this moment in time, me personally, just because I'm trying to, without nothing to record, I'm trying to get my lyricism down and everything. But here upcoming soon, I will be, when the summer starts, I will be looking for features. If anybody is down to do features, they can hit me up then. But I won't be taking any features this time.
Okay, good to know. As far as I know, Blaze has the ability to dictate who he works with and who he doesn't want to work with. So it might be the same for you.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure it is. Honestly, if I fuck with it, I fuck with it. In other words, like if you're in the circle, or like if someone wants to do a track with me, like I usually won't say no.
Yeah.
Like I like getting my name out there, and I like helping other artists get their name out there too. So why not meet new artists and collab? Like there could be two people that make something gold.
Yep, networking at its finest, right there.
Yep.
Because I've never turned down any certain person as far as a collab, but I've turned down something that they were wanting me to be on twice in my life ever, and it was that bad.
Yep. And the reason why I'm not accepting current features at this time is one of the reasons is that builds up. So like, say you get a bunch of people that are wanting features, people, I could have like 6 or 7 feature, like people wanting to get a feature at me, and that just, it causes so much mayhem, because then you got so many people everybody that wants a feature, they have their own deadlines when it comes to their songs, and I don't always have the time to just like hop in the studio and just spit out a verse. Like that takes time sometimes. Sometimes it takes me anywhere from like a week to 2 weeks just to bust out a rhyme, because I want to make, or to get the verse out, because it makes what I want to make sure that it sounds the way it needs to sound. So and I don't want to get backed up on too many features. I usually only accept a max about 5 or 6 features at a time, just so that I know I have the time to do them.
Well, see, this is just Jekyll's prediction into the future, is that I think you're going to blow up big and blow up quickly. So I think that getting backlogged with features is something you really got to worry about, because from what I've heard so far, from just the 3 songs, you're gonna blow up fucking quick, especially being in Blaze's inner circle and on your label. So I think you're gonna blow up quick, dude.
Well, I do really appreciate that. That really does mean a lot. I'm really, my goal is to really put Rapid City on the map when it comes to music, because they're so far behind in the music industry. I just want to put my hometown on the map. That's all. Just like Bone Thugs did to Cleveland back in the day, I want to put my state on the map.
Well, I would say I'll put Grand Junction, Colorado on the map, but we're already well known for our music because we have Country Jam every fucking year right here in Grand Junction. It has dick shit to do with rap, so maybe I'll do it for a rap reason.
Yeah, there you go. Change it up a bit. Give them something. Give them a taste of your rap, Jekyl.
See, that's well, I go to Starbucks down here. Everyone knows who I am. And I don't know if that's because they like my music or because I go there literally every day and order literally the same thing. I don't know.
Probably both.
They call it the Jekyl special. I just tell them that, and they know exactly what I want. So it's kind of cool.
Well, you are a special. You are a special Jekyl.
I am. I'm the one and only. So boom.
12 shots of espresso.
No, it's not. It's 9 shots. Goddammit. I just go there more than once.
9 shots, my God.
9 shots of espresso with a half a cup of ice, just so I can pour the 2 together and not just burn the fuck out of my esophagus as I chug the bitch like a fucking shot. That's what I do literally every morning.
You're a crazy little man.
Yes, I am. But I appreciate you rolling through and doing this interview again, and thank you again for being very like, what's the word I'm looking for? My brain is fried at this point. Working with this as far as the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Accommodating.
This was a pretty long interview. I was I'll be honest. I honestly did not expect it to be this long, but I enjoyed every minute of it. I'll be honest. I've been stoned through the whole thing, so
That's all right.
that's
No,
why I was kind of forgetting some questions.
no, you're
But I
good.
still I tried to do it as professional as possible, even though I have my medicinal time. You know.
Hey, that works, man. No, with my interviews and my like, if you're gonna be on the podcast on Monday or Mondays, that's one thing about my shows is I don't ever have a time frame set up because I've had interviews literally lasted like 20 minutes and I was out of questions. Nobody else had questions, and that was it. And then I would have 3 hour later interviews and podcasts generally with Jay and Jess. We do, with that being said, on Wednesdays, those hit a minimum of 3 hours every fucking time.
Yeah, well, I'm down for him. Honestly, like if you need if you're looking for like a set special like a set guest like on Mondays, like I'll do it like no problem. Like I got no problem doing it. I would love to be a part of it.
Hey, good to know, man. Because if
So
even if not for Fire or Flop Mondays, we're trying to find a replacement show for, well, you said Monday or Mondays and Thursdays were the only good times, but
yeah,
at 8 o'clock our time or 6 o'clock our time, I'm sorry, 8 o'clock Eastern, we have shows on Fridays, but the Friday show got canceled because I wasn't feeling the setup of it, so.
I gotcha.
But I can always move my flop or fire or flop from Mondays to Fridays if need be, because I can do that because I am the owner. So
Yeah, exactly. You can do what you need to do, man.
yes, sir. But again, thank you for being on the show, Jess. Thank you for moderating. Everybody that rolled through just to check out the
Absolutely.
interview. Thank you guys for rolling through and bullshitting with us, and for the ones that are going to be checking this out post live. And thank you for everybody who asked questions throughout. I appreciate it. This show goes a lot better, and it's a lot more fun for the guests when y'all are interactive like this and ask the questions that you want to know
Yep.
answers to.
Yeah.
Catch us here again for like the red carpet interviews are a mix. Sometimes they're live, sometimes they're pre-recorded, depending on who I'm doing the interview with. If they got certain times they're available, I might not be able to do a live at that point, but I can record it and then drop it on a Saturday. So it all depends as far as my red carpet interviews. But if you want to be a artist, or you don't even gotta be an artist, you could be a reactor, you could be a fucking engineer, a producer, content creator. I don't care who I interview or what I interview them about. I'm trying to give the underdogs, the lesser names, a platform that they can get interviewed and get their names out there and why they do what they do. That's what I'm here for. So,
Oh yeah.
with that being said, appreciate everybody, and we will see you guys all on whatever comes next after this. I don't have any more lives this week, and I got some reactions I'm gonna bang out, and yeah, that's about it. So appreciate
All right.
everyone.
Yeah. Have a good night, everybody.
I always misplace the button. There it is.
You and buttons.
I hate.
Always with the buttons.